Alpha Kane. Hey guys, come over here. Let's make fires everywhere. I chuckled, playing with my friends using arrows and fire. It was our favorite game ever. Yes, we were 15 years old, but we were the royal family of the Blue Moon Pack, and I was the next in line alpha after my father. No, don't. Wait, Kane. My best friend screamed at me. But damn it, I just shot the arrow, and that one dropped in the beta house just now. Run, guys, run, or they will catch us. I told them, and I started running immediately. Kane, what if the beta wasn't there, and he couldn't have time or any help to stop the fire? One of my best friends worriedly asked me, but I didn't think twice to come back or not. There was no way to go back, and no one else should know about that incident, or my father might kill me. He was so strict, even with all the royal family members and me. Run, all of you, now, and don't ever mention what happened today. Forget about that incident. Got that? Or my father will throw us in jail. I commanded, explaining to them the consequences. And yes, all of us, the 5 best friends, forgot totally about that. It was our secret. 10 years passed, and all we knew about the fire incident was that the beta lost that house forever. It was burned, and his daughter got injured. That was what we all knew. I didn't ask, and I didn't want to hear what happened. Now I turned into 24, and in a few months I will turn into 25, and I will be the king of the Blue Moon Beck. While we were in fight practice, my father interrupted me and said sternly, "Follow me now, Kane. I need to talk to you." I followed immediately. Wait for me, guys. I waved to my friends, and they just chuckled and nodded. My father walked to his office and asked me, "Close the door behind you and come here." His voice was so weird, as if I did something wrong, and he figured out about it. I coughed. "Yes, my king. What is it? Something wrong happened?" He raised his brows. "Yes, to hand you the throne, you should get mated." I widened my eyes, but excitedly and immediately agreed. "Okay, when I will pick my mate then." He crossed his arms over his chest. "You should pay for your past mistakes." So he lingered in his words in the air. Then he trailed off his words firmly. "I picked a mate for you, so don't worry. All you need to do, be mated to her." "But shouldn't I see her and meet her first? And what about my past mistake?" "I don't understand," I commented on curiosity. "End of conversation. Your mating party is tonight. Go and get ready." He gestured to me and left, and I almost dropped my jaw. Rosy. I was staring at my mirror, yelling at myself, "Everyone hates you because you are freaking ugly. You will never get out of that house. You will be imprisoned here forever. Look at yourself. You will never find love. No one ever." I smashed the mirror with my hands. My father, the Beta Franco, heard that, and he barged into the room immediately, watching my hand bleeding. "Sweetheart, what happened?" I sighed, depressed. "Nothing, father." "But why do you keep mirrors in my room?" "I don't see mirrors ever in the whole house. I hate how I look. I hate myself. I want to die." My father pulled me into a fatherly hug, and I swear I saw the tears in his eyes. But he did his best to act strongly. "You are my baby girl. You are beautiful." I laughed hysterically, scoffing. "Be honest with yourself, father. Look at my ugly, bruised face, the burns everywhere. I look like a beast." He cupped my face and moved his fingers softly. "You are not a beast. It was an accident, and you should be adapted and get used to that." I nodded my head. Yes, get used to being ugly, because I was just 10 and didn't shift yet, so my body couldn't heal the scars. "So now you are asking me, after 10 years of suffering, to be adapted to live like a monster forever?" I wondered. How could he really say these words to me? I wish I could kill myself and end all that shit. That was in the past. And besides, you are 20 years old now, and... He was saying something, but I couldn't hear. His consolation couldn't cure the pain in my chest for 10 years. I haven't been able to play or have friends or educated in the royal school because of that. I was like a prisoner living and doing everything behind these huge walls. "Did you know that the son of our maid Melissa freaked out when the veil dropped off my face?" "Do you know how much it hurts?" I angrily said. He patted my cheeks. "Everything will be good now. Your mating ceremony is tonight." He walked away to the door. I raised my brows and stammered, "What do you mean?" He gestured to the maids to go inside my room, and I spotted a royal wedding dress in their hands and more stuff. "Father, what's going on?" "You will be mated tonight too. Alpha Kane." "Get ready," he informed me and left the room. "What?" Alpha Kane, the one who was responsible for my suffering for 10 years? But how and why? Alpha Kane. I started preparing myself for the mating party. I was curious and excited, but somehow I was worried. I didn't meet my mate before, but to be the alpha next year, I will do anything. It was my father's condition, and he was stubborn. If I said no to him, he would hand the throne to anyone else in the royal family members. So hell no. I do agree to get mated, even if she was a cow. I handled my suit for the last time and stood in front of the mirror, praising myself. Damn it! I'm handsome as hell. Whoever is going to be my mate, she is so fucking lucky. Sexy, smart, and next alpha in line, and even so very filthy rich and powerful. I opened the door of my room and walked downstairs, followed by the guards, and met the beta on my way. He bowed his head. Everything is ready, Your Highness, in the ballroom. Okay, where's my father and my mate? But hold on, where's everyone else? I asked in concern. I didn't spot anyone, not even the maids, but only the guards, and few of them, not all. He smiled to me weirdly. The mating party for you and your mate and your father and... The beta lingered his words, and I swear he looked so mysterious. And whom? I firmly asked. He grinned, and so what? The beta follows us like our shadow everywhere, so it was normal to be there. But his words smiled so officially. Once I stepped inside the ballroom, it looked more like my funeral. Even my mate was wearing a veil that covered her face, but it was such a thick veil. I couldn't see any of her features. I stepped closer from my father and bowed respectfully in the presence of the king. My mate should bow her head for me, but she didn't. I thought, and it came to my mind that she was one of the royal family. That's why she has a self-ego. Father, why she's hiding her face. And by that, I pulled up her veil and almost startled and hopped back, freaked out. Fuck, damn it, she's so ugly. I do reject her. I gritted on my teeth. You can't. You should pay. Kane, no. The one who dared to say that wasn't my father. He was the beta. I turned my head to him. What the fuck are you saying? She is my daughter, and you did that to her. Oh my God. How the hell do they know that? But I can't do that. I should insist on my words. Alpha Kane. I stepped closer to my father and leaned my head, whispering to him, Father, I can't do that. He dragged me out of the ballroom room and stood at the door. Listen to me, Kane. You were the reason for her suffering for 10 years. You should pay now for your mistakes, or I will have to put you in jail. Not just you will lose your crown. He threatened me. I glared at the floor, thinking for a while. Then I said, So, if I accepted her as my mate, then you will forgive me and give me a royal pardon, and I will take the crown in a year? Yes, all I cared about was to be a king. Yes, I dreamed of that. I was born to be the alpha of the Blue Moon Beck. He rubbed his chin. Yes, I will. Now, what's your decision? I shrugged my shoulders in defeat and broken smile. Do I have another option? Yes, I do accept for sure. And then I followed my father inside. I bowed my head to her. Son, I need to apologize to you. Please forgive me. Please be my mate. She bowed her head. I will try to forgive you, my alpha. She didn't smile at all. Or maybe she did, but from the burns, I couldn't see. I didn't care, pretending that I was sorry, just faking a good attitude in front of my father. Then I linked my arms to her and walked to our room. I covered her face with the veil, and once we stepped inside, I pushed her immediately roughly, that she even fell on the floor. Then I locked the door and started yelling at her. Listen to me, beast. Whenever we are in public, you will need to act as Happy Luna. But inside our room, I don't want to see your ugly face ever. Damn it. Do you think that you will trap me into that mating bond to pay for what happened to you? I don't fucking care about what happened to you. It was an incident. I threatened her, and she started crying heavily, but her cries didn't melt my heart. I just couldn't understand how I will be able to wait until my father hands me the throne. But I had to do that. I should wait 1 year, and I will kick her out of that castle. No, I will kick her out of the whole kingdom. She stood up slowly and nodded. Then, I'm here just to... I squeezed her jaw immediately by my strong grip and uncovered her face and pushed her to look at herself in the mirror. Look, do you know how disgusting you are? I can't even look at you. How do you bear looking at yourself? I will never live with a monster like you ever. You are here only temporary. Got that, bitch? Then I pushed her to the floor. She crawled on her knees. I don't want to be with you either. But do you know what? I'm not the monster here. You are. You are heartless. I hate you. I mumbled, good, then we do have a deal. After 1 year, you will be out of here. But until that time, don't talk to me. Don't show your face to me. Now go and sleep on the couch. I commanded her harshly, looking up and down in disgust for her. She walked to the bathroom and locked herself, crying. I just changed my clothes and slammed my body to the bed and fell asleep normally. But I was thinking of how I could get out of that trap, Alpha Kane. I woke up and found her sleeping on the couch. It was the worst morning ever. I hopped off the bed, huffing and puffing, then I nudged her shoulder. Hey, you, wake up. I yelled at her. To see her fucking ugly face in the morning already switched my mood and ruined my day. She opened her eyes slowly. Yes. I frowned. Wake up now. Get your ass off the couch. I commanded her, but she was still yawning. I hated her. I clutched her hair aggressively and pulled her up. I told you, I don't want to see your fucking face ever. Right? She nodded. Yes, she gulped nervously. I know I was too harsh, but for God's sake, she was the ugliest person ever. If I had to be mated to a dog or a bear, it would be better than seeing her face. I crossed my arms over my chest. Then why do you keep that ugly face uncovered? She glared to the floor, fiddling with her fingers nervously, and stammered, I was sleeping. Do you expect me to cover my face while I'm sleeping? This will be difficult. I won't be able to breathe and I might die. She was explaining her bullshit, and I literally blocked my ears and acted like a deaf. I strangled her neck by my strong grip. Listen to me. I don't care if you couldn't breathe or not. Actually, I don't give a shit if you died. And to be honest, it will be much relief if you died. Even for you. Don't you think so? Then I pushed her away from my path. I'm going to take a shower now. I don't want to see your face around. Go down or kill yourself or anything. I told her coldly and boldly, and she started crying again. That was too annoying, seriously. Thanks to my father, I will suffer for more than a year. I walked to the shower and took a long, cold shower to snap my bad thoughts. I wanted to kill her, to be honest. Yes, but it came to my mind to make her feel miserable more and kill herself instead, or decided to break the bond on her own. So humiliation and ignorance was my plan to get rid of her fast. I just wish she won't be badass and patient and hoping that I may love her, because she will be insane. I stood up and dried my body with the towel. I walked to my bedroom and I didn't find her, and I was glad. That's when it came to my mind to switch back my mood from bad to good, and that will never happen without a lovely, sexy girl. I pulled my cell phone from my pocket and immediately called my mistress. Yes, I do have a lot of them. Hey, baby, I'm waiting for you, I said to Lisa. She huffed. How? I just was informed that you found your mate, she gasped and asked me confused. Don't worry about her. My father forced me to get mated with her, and she is freaking ugly. Okay, I'm on my way, she said and hung up. In 5 minutes, I heard cracks in the door. I opened, and I found the beast. Yes, my mate. What brings you here now? I groaned. She whispered, Where should I go? I rubbed my chin. Go to the bathroom. My mistress is coming now. She cemented by the door. Hey, did you hear me? I don't want her to see you, so go now. I commanded her. She dragged her feet slowly to the bathroom and locked herself in. I waited for my baby Lisa to come. She swayed her hips right and left seductively. I pulled her into my lap. She pouted. I'm so mad at you, she said. I kissed her lips. Please don't be. So where's she? She asked me about my mate. In the bathroom, I roared. Lisa gasped and hopped off my lap. Huh? But what if she saw us? I pulled her back and placed her on the bed, and then topped her, showering her neck and her cheeks with warm kisses. Don't worry, she knows that you will come. She's so ugly. I will never touch her. But, Kane, is she that ugly? She wondered. I called Rosy. Hey, Rosy, come here now. And once she stopped, she plastered on her place. Take off your veil, I commanded her sternly. And Lisa freaked out and gasped, Oh my God, she's so ugly. She's a beast. I shrugged my shoulders. I told you, baby, and that I will never accept her to be my mate. Rosy, I couldn't believe how he was treating me. He was the main reason for my suffering since I was a little girl. And I didn't ask him to be mated to me. Why he did that? That was the only question that was roaming in my head, and I wanted an answer. When he asked me to go away, I went down to find my father and talk with him. But I already, by coincidence, heard him talking with the king. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the door of the office was already open. And yes, I heard everything. It was a hard shock to me, but it was expected. They were talking about how Alpha Kane should be reasonable and pay for what he did to me years ago, and that it was an unforgivable sin. But they didn't know that they made me suffer more. They didn't know that someone like Alpha Kane did that to be Alpha King in a few months. I wiped my tears, but one of the maids saw me, Your Highness. My father spotted me by the door. Rosy, sweetheart. I pushed his hand away from me. Sweetheart? Why did you do that to me? To humiliate me. You know and sure that no one wants to look at my face, so how do you expect my mate to love me? My father hugged me. He will. I'm sure. You are so pretty. I mocked. Yes, same words. Pretty from inside. Look at my father. I uncovered my face. I trailed off my words talking to him and to the king who was giving me pity looks. Look at me, both of you. Do you think any man would be able to love a girl like me? If I was a man, I will never be able to do that. The face is important. I ran immediately to the room after I made sure to cover my face again. I didn't want to hear any more insulting or yelling from Alpha Kane, but when he opened the door, I was shocked by his words. He didn't even hide that his girl is going to come. I wanted to get out, but when he commanded me to go to the bathroom, I wanted to be inside to hear everything, to hear how sweet he could be with a woman. I was hoping that his nature was bad with everyone, not only with me. Just stupid hopes, but I found out that I was the monkey in the zoo. When he asked me to uncover my face, he made fun of me with his girl. I locked myself in the bathroom and took a scissor and cut both my hands and my feet veins. Yes, I wanted to end my life. My life meant nothing, and I guess I waited for too long. Blood was splashed everywhere. I didn't know that it will be so painful, so I started whimpering and screaming. He barged into the bathroom after he smashed the door, and guess what? He hollers at me, "What the fuck? If you wanted to end your life, don't do that here." And everything went black. I even lost the ability to breathe. Rosy. I opened my eyes to see myself in the bed, and surprisingly, I found Alpha Kane next to me. My face was uncovered. I rubbed my chin confused. Has he changed all of a sudden because I tried to kill myself? Was that possible? He gazed at me. "Welcome back to life. I used my powers to heal your wounds." So he said softly. But I heard a sharp cough. I turned my head to see the king standing there. He leaned and patted on my head. "Thank God that you are safe now." That's it. Then, he saved my life and treating me in a good way because his father is here. I guess monsters and devils will never change. They will remain heartless forever. I drew a fake smile. Thank you all. And that was it. I didn't want to thank them. Why the hell they saved me? I wanted to stay like this. I wanted to die. Why didn't burn me alive instead? The king smiled to me softly. "Okay, I will leave you now to relax and take a rest. And take care of yourself, Rosy." I tried to adjust my back to the bed to bow my head respectfully to him. "Thank you, Your Highness." I was going to explain to him that I tried to kill myself, but Alpha Kane cut off my words immediately. She just fell down and I don't know how her hands and her legs were. But anyway, she is fine now. Don't worry, father. I will take care of her by my soul. She is my Luna after all. He lied. Every word came out of his mouth was bullshit. How could he fake his feelings and act like that? For what? To be the next Alpha King? And how about me? I didn't do anything to deserve this life. I nodded mutely and didn't open my mouth because Alpha Kane shot me with warning, deadly gazes. I wasn't scared of him. Not yet, at least. But I was so lonely and miserable, and I didn't want to open the hellfires into my face. I wanted everything to move smoothly and peacefully till this year end. Yes, I surrender to my fate. I will never stay with him anymore. Even if he begged me, and sure, he would never do that. I was nothing to him. I was trashed, and he would always see me like a piece of garbage. But I don't blame him for not accepting me. I was so ugly my face was full of scars. Even I hated to look at myself in the mirror. But I do blame him for what happened to me. He should have some mercy. He should have asked me sincerely for what he did. He should at least treat me nicely. Before the king stormed out of our room, he plastered Alpha Kane by his words. "By the way, Kane, I want an heir. So do your best with your Luna to make the bond together forever." And the king left. Alpha Kane locked the door after him. Then he came to me and yelled at me, "Move your ass up now." I tried to drag myself out of bed, but it was so hard. I bled a lot. But suddenly he pinned me back to the bed and frowned. "I guess I need to get mated to you. I need to find a solution. I just hoped that your body wouldn't be full of scars too." I stared at him confused. What the hell did he mean by that? He raised his brows and grabbed the veil, then covered my face. He stood up again and turned off the lights. Then he started taking off all of his clothes. I was speechless, shocked and lost. I didn't know what he intended to do. Until he ripped off my clothes, I screamed, "What are you doing? Don't touch me." He pressed his strong palm to my mouth. "Don't yell or I will make you regret it." Alpha Kane. After a long shower, I didn't feel disgusted actually for fucking her. To be honest, I do admit that her body was the best I have ever seen. Too bad that she was ugly. But still, I have no intention of staying with her forever. I just can't do that. I wore my clothes and stepped back to my bedroom. I didn't find her inside. It was so weird. She was almost losing her conscience. It was too strange. I thought I would find her sleeping in the bed. But hell damn it, could it be that she ran away? Oh God, and she broke the mate bond between us that fast? Seriously, if that happens, then I'm so lucky. But I heard noises coming from the garden, down there. I walked to look through the window, only to find her playing with a cat. Damn it, she is insane. She doesn't know that she is she-wolf, and that is not allowed. She was giggling softly, and something happens to my heart. I can't deny that I felt as if my heart was softening. Could it be because I was mated to her? No, no way. I will never allow my heart to fall for an ugly girl like her ever. I snapped to my evil thoughts, and I wore my clothes and called her, "Hey, Rosy, come over here now." After a few minutes, she came hesitantly walking inside, but away from me, as if she was scared of me. Well, it's good to be scared of me, to be obedient, and never do something wrong. I crossed my arms over my chest, roaming her body subconsciously, and then an idea came into my mind. I don't know why, but why not? She was my Luna, and at least she was clean and never been touched, and I like that. Why would I fuck others if I do have her? She lowered her gaze to the floor. "Get ready, we are going to." I lingered my words in the air. She didn't say anything. Definitely, she was so obedient, and I liked that. Maybe she just decided to surrender to me, hoping that I will love her or something. I walked towards her, and with every step closer, she was moving back, until I was fed up from that cat and rat way, so I pulled her arm and pinned her to my strong, wide chest. I moved my strong fingers to her ass and squeezed it. "Yummy. I admit that I liked your body. So..." She gulped, and her heartbeats raced in her chest. I started to feel her shivers. Her hands turned into cold ice. She was hardly breathing. I do have powers, but I didn't hear that before. Could it be because I already mated her? I was confused. But why my heart was beating so fast, too? Why do I feel different? As if something had changed inside me. No way, ever. I was internally struggling to define what was going on with me. Then I came back to earth and slammed her ass. "Go and wear your clothes. We are going on a honeymoon." She stammered, "Huh? Honeymoon? Why? No, please. Don't interrupt me." I commanded her, and she shut her mouth, paying attention to me. I trailed off, frowning. "You are my slave now, remember? So I will fuck you. You should be glad, because I will do that to you. An ugly girl like you should be honored and kiss my feet daily for allowing her to enjoy my dick." I remarked, and then I stood up and pulled her to get up on her feet. I said coldly, "I will be waiting for you downstairs. 5 minutes only to get ready, or I will punish you, and seriously, you don't know how my punishment is bad." I warned her and stormed out of the room. But my mind was planning for what I should do with her, for a pure virgin. Somehow that made me interested and craved for her body. Rosy. I wore my clothes. I didn't want him to say something harsh because I was late. I hurriedly walked downstairs. He was laughing and joking with my father and his father. I bowed to all of them respectfully, then I turned my head to him. "I'm ready, Your Highness." But Alpha Kane reached that limit of acting, honestly. He uncovered my face and cupped my jaw with his hand and said softly, "Oh, sweetheart, why did you cover your face? I told you I want to see your eyes every minute and every second." I widened my eyes, speechless. I could reply. He was a shit of lies. And if I started talking, I will tell the truth. But I didn't want my father to suffer again. I know that watching me crying all those years hurt my father's feelings already, so that was enough for him. I wasn't a young girl anymore. I'm a full woman and ready to face my destiny on my own. I covered back my face and said politely, "Your Highness, we should go now." Ignored Kane's words and just diverted the subject as much as I was worried to be away and alone with Alpha Kane as much as I wanted to be away for a while. I have been imprisoned willingly in my father's house. It's the right time to see the outside world. He wrapped his nasty arms around my waist and walked next to my side, as if he was my protector or something. I wondered how a real alpha like him could act as if he was a good person and he was so bad from inside. I wondered why the gods gifted him a handsome face and perfect body like a Greek god, while his heart was black as daubs, stained with hatred. I walked mostly next to him until he opened the door of the limo to me. "Have a seat, my princess," he said kindly. I frowned, deep inside me. Once I sat inside, and he sat next to me in the back seat. He pushed me to the window. "Don't sit closer to me. I don't want to be infected and lose my handsome features or something because of you." I almost cried, but I surprised my tears not to fall in front of someone like him, someone who doesn't believe in the mating bond, something that doesn't believe in love, someone who doesn't deserve to be with me. All the way, and for more than 1 hour, he was talking with someone on a cell phone. He ignored me. Only the driver asked me, "Your Highness, Princess Rosy, do you need anything to drink?" I nodded to him. "Thank you for even noticing me." I was glad that I did find someone to talk to me, even so he was just driving the royal family. He handed me a juice, and I was stunned. He gave me a mango, and I really only drink mango juice. "Is there something wrong, Your Highness? Do you want me to give you another juice?" The driver asked me politely. "No, it's just, I do love mango." "How did you?" I was asking the driver, but Alpha Kane cut off us rudely. "Stay silent, I'm talking on the phone." I zipped my mouth and nodded. Until we reached that castle in the middle of the jungle, where the sea and the hill surrounded that castle, the view was great. I got out of the limo and stood to eyeball the view in awe. Alpha Kane suddenly yelled at me, "Hey, follow me inside." He said shameless, and the driver turned his head away and walked deep into the jungle. Even the driver felt pity for me. But Kane was like a wolf made of stone, born with no heart. I didn't follow him. Yes, I didn't care anymore. I hate him, I hate his touch, and I even hate the way he looks at me. For a second, I wanted to run away, but I wasn't able to. The weird thing, that Alpha Kane out of the blue and in a blink of an eye was blocking my path and flipped me into his shoulder. He barged into the castle that was too massive and no one was inside at all. Except for a bunch of werewolves, and she loves to appear suddenly, walking along side by side through the castle gate. Alpha Kane slammed my body to the couch and leaned closer, gritting in his teeth. "I don't know how I have heard what was roaming inside your brain. Mind link with you. Why you, for God's sake?" he said, annoyed by that idea. He didn't want to admit to himself that we are mates and that we could mind link with each other. He gulped nervously and squeezed my jaw. "I hate you. I do hate you so much, but you should watch this." Suddenly, Alpha Kane gazed at me, then turned his body to his friends, and all of a sudden strangled his neck. "My mate is my mate. No one will touch her ever. Got that?" He stressed on every word was coming out of his mouth. It was strange, but at least he didn't share my body with others. Rosy. I just couldn't stand the idea to be in front of all those horrible werewolves fucking each other. I wasn't raised to be like them. I was the daughter of the beta. I tried to hide, to walk away deep in the jungle, and I bumped into someone. I stumbled, but his strong grip held me tight. "Your Highness, are you okay?" I raised my head up to see the driver, who I wasn't able to see closely when he was driving the limo. I nodded with a smile that he wasn't able to see because of the veil over my face. "Yes, thank you." He smiled back and bowed his head in respect for me. But I gestured to him, "No, please don't do that. I'm just like you, maybe less in respect." He raised his brows. "Your Highness, how could you compare yourself to someone like me? Your level of—" I cut him off immediately. "What's your name?" He bowed again. "I'm Jack, under your service, Your Highness." I'm Rosy. Just call me Rosy, please. I sighed in frustration. He trembled and shook his head in disagreeing. I can't call you by your name, Your Highness. Your grade is much higher than mine, and I'm just an Omega and a driver for the Royal Prince. And he was trying to explain with his reasonable excuse, but he didn't know that his face was better than mine. I walked away. He trailed my pace. Why are you following me? I asked in curiosity, stopping in my walk. He replied, I must follow you and protect you, he said confidently. I frowned. Listen to me. You need to go now. I need to be alone. But he disagreed. I can't, he said simply with a gasp. I huffed and commanded him sternly. I said, go away now. He suddenly rotated and knelt in front of me. Please, I'm so worried about you. It's not because of Alpha Kane. He paused his words. I uncovered my face and hollered at him. Look at me. Did you like what you see now? Go away. Why are you still here? You are not scared. I thought he would freak out like others, but instead he pleaded, I'm sorry, I will not move 1 inch away. I'm begging you. I do care about. He paused again. I put my hand on his shoulders and tried to pull him to stand on his feet. What's wrong with you? I feel sorry because I couldn't. Back then, 10 years ago, I was with Alpha Kane when the fire attacked your house and I couldn't do anything. I'm so sorry. I couldn't help you back then. I will never forgive myself, he said, sobbing in a sincere tone. Finally, I met someone who feels sorry for the past accident. I slumped my shoulder. It's okay. I do forgive you. Please go away now, I said softly. But all of a sudden, I found a strong arm around my waist. I heard whispered in my ear, so, my ugly mate is cheating on me now? I turned my body slowly. What are you talking about? He rubbed his chin and groaned. Now, I'm going to make your life like hell. And he dragged me from my hair more than a mile, roaring and growling in anger. And I lost my conscience when he started slamming my ass and my back with his waist belt. And I opened my eyes to find myself on a chair and tied, and the Omega driver drowning in his blood and down my feet. Rosy. What? Why? I stuttered, trying to find my voice back. It was hard for me to see someone dying in front of me. Alpha Kane kicked that driver in his chest and awfully yelled at me with too much rage in his voice. You didn't listen to me. I told you, you are mine. Until the right time comes, you will be my slave. Thankfully, he untied me and left me there. I crawled down to the driver and helped him to stand up on his feet. He breathlessly smiled at me and then placed a soft kiss to my hand. Thank you, Your Highness. Hope you could find the peace in your life and find someone who deserves you soon. I smiled back and placed his arms on my shoulder. No time for words. You need to go now. I don't know what will he do to you. He nodded. Thank you. My wounds will heal soon. I will go now. Take care of yourself. And he dragged his feet. He tried to shift to run faster, but as an Omega, that was hard for him. Most Omegas weren't able to shift into their wolf shape easily. But I was relieved to see him safe. At least I helped him not as he did when he was young. But I'm so satisfied and happy because my ugly face didn't turn me into a real monster from inside. I was the same, and that's enough for me. I decided to wait and be Alpha Kane's salve, as he has said, sooner or later he will get rid of me. But deep inside me, I wanted to do my best. Maybe he will fall in love with me. Yes, I was like any other girl, deeply in need of love, for safety, for a mate. That wasn't a crime. I waited all night in that house until Alpha Kane came back. He threw me up and down looks. Wasn't a hatred nor a violent look, not even disgust, but its kind of peaceful one, as if he decided to be calm and treat me normally. He just drove us back to the castle again. And that day, he asked me once we stepped inside, do you know how to cook? I froze in my place because it was the first time he talks to me normally. I nodded, yes, sure. He sighed deeply. Okay, please cook something for us. I want to have a meal with you in our room alone. I nodded, agreeing. Sir, Your Highness. I swear that his lips wanted to form a smile, but he hid it immediately. I turned my heels in the kitchen, but he pulled my arm. Rosy, I'm sorry. And then he walked away from me in a rush, as if he was in a deep battle with himself, or as if the mating bond started to control him deeply. I couldn't blame him either. I was struggling to accept myself for 10 years, and I couldn't. I sighed deeply and decided to make a nice meal once I finished with the help of the other maids. I asked them to serve the plates in our room, and I walked to the washroom to change my clothes and wear something nice. My smell stinks already. I put milk and strawberry in the bathtub. It always made my skin softer and refreshed me. But suddenly, I smell something, his scent, my mate's scent. I sniffled and turned my head to find Alpha Kane by the door, staring at me. "Your Highness? Do you need anything?" He shook his head and trembled a bit. "No, I was just checking on you. Don't be late. I'm so hungry." His tone was so much different, so soft, gentle, and kind, as if he was someone else. I smiled weakly and nodded. I dried my body and changed my clothes into comfortable sleeping clothes, then covered my face with a veil and walked to the bed. He was sitting on the edge of the bed and a tray full of cooked food in front of him. He furrowed his brows and asked me out of the blue, "Why are you covering your face?" I gasped, shocked. "You asked me to do that." He frowned. "Not now. Take it off. I need to get used to your ugh." He was going to say ugly face, but he paused and recovered the word, "I need to get used to your face. We are mates now." I was surprised, honestly. Speechless, hesitant, I pulled away from the veil from my face and sat in front of him. Yes, I lowered my face all the time to not freak him out. He was stealing glances at me from time to time. We silently and slowly ate our food. He slammed the fork from his hand and growled, "Okay, that's enough. Put it back. I can't do this." Then he stood up and stormed off the room, slamming the door behind him, leaving me with my sorrow, drowned in my rainy tears. What mistake have I done to be treated and rejected by my mate like this? Why can't he just break the bond and let me go? Rosy. I have spent the days since then in reading day and night. I wanted to stay away from him, and thankfully he wasn't talking to me at all. I was sleeping after he falls into sleep and wakes up before he opens his eyes. I made my own room for reading, and gladly the king who ordered the maids to bring me all the books I want to. The time was passing by day after day. There was no connection or interaction, and that was so much comfortable. I already surrendered to my fate, and I knew that my battle to keep him as my mate failed. I felt lonely again, but I already lived my whole like this, imprisoned between four walls. There was nothing new to me. Only me and I and my books by that time. But after 1 month of being mated to Alpha Kane, he barged into my reading room and sat next to me. Instantly, I covered my face. "Your Highness, do you need something?" He narrowed his eyes and snatched the book from my hand and checking the title, Fairy Tales. Then he trailed off, amused. "I can be anywhere I want. I'm the Alpha. Anyway, I was wondering what my mate was doing. So read for me," he said simply. I nodded and let him have a seat and grabbed the book and started reading for him. He was listening to me without interrupting. His attitude was different that made me have some hopes. I was happy, deep inside me. I felt alive at least because he was talking to me. I felt like shunned in the whole castle. No one dared to talk to me, as if they were afraid to see my face, or as if the thought that I was a ghost or will eat them alive or something. Everyone, even the maids, were keeping a huge distance between us while talking to me, and they all talked to me, if necessary, only. For meals, or if I called them to bring me anything. That's all. Yes, no one accepted me in that castle as a real mate of the Alpha. Everyone knew, even my father, that soon I will be out. But hopes blow up inside me. Maybe the fairy tale book I was reading made me feel like this, because it was talking about a prince who fell in love with a maid and decided to go through a deadly war to win her over to another prince. Yes, it's nonsense, but why not? Who would believe that fate brought me to be with the one who destroyed my life? I flipped the pages of the book one after another for 2 hours until I finished the whole book. He smirked at me because I was yawning. He stood up and patted on my shoulders. "You could sleep here tonight." I blinked, confused, but I nodded my head in defeat, obeying him. I laid my body on the couch and sealed my eyes, preventing my tears from falling down. After a couple of minutes, he opened the door again. Then he covered my body with a blanket and leaned closer to my face, moving his fingers softly to my cheeks and whispering in my ear, "You need to get out from your fairy tale shell. Facts and reality are different. I will never accept you." Then he patted on my head and placed a soft kiss to my forehead and stormed off the room in a hurry. I stood up and followed him to our room. I wanted to talk to him. I needed to end my suffering, at least in my father's house. I was talking to my father, but I heard whispers and moans that made me plastered by the door. That was obvious. She was asking him why you are still with her? Do you love her? He sighed. I don't love her, and I will get rid of her soon, but I can't deny that I love her body even more than you. And then I heard him yelling at her, so get out now. I was confused. I don't know if that should make me happy or not. I decided to go back to my reading room, and in minutes he was there in front of me naked. He said, rubbing his chin and in rage tone, I want you now, and don't say no because I don't know what happened to me since we did it together. I couldn't touch any woman. I walked behind him and turned off the lights, then covered my face and slowly striped, surrendering to my fate and giving him what he wants. I couldn't reject my mate. I wasn't like him, and if that was the only bond between us, then I do accept that. Alpha Kane. After 6 months of living in a silent hell, only giving willingly Alpha Kane my body at night to fill his desires. There was that shifting party. It wasn't the real date, but the thorn should be supposed to be handed in few days to Alpha Kane, so they decided to advance the day. Because I have been living in my father's house all those years, I wasn't able to participate in any of such feasts. So as a princess and the maid of Alpha Kane, I was supposed to attend. But Alpha Kane broke the rules of the kingdom, and instead, and while I was already wearing my best dress ever, he said, Why are you wearing that dress? I gulped nervously, checking the dress, though there was something wrong, to attend the shifting party. I replied, simply confused. He laughed hysterically, making fun of me. Never. The one who will attend with me is my girlfriend. I almost stumbled, but I claimed myself and stood tight. What? A girlfriend? But you didn't mention that you do have any. He crossed his arms over his chest and threw me with disgusting looks. Have I ever mentioned anything about my private life to you? He was right, and I was so stupid to fill my heart and my mind with hopes. He didn't talk to me about anything at all. All he did was fucking me the way he wanted, and whenever he wanted without insulting me. That was the difference. I nodded and dragged my feet back, taking off my dress in frustration. He hollered at me harshly, and from now on, I don't want you to get out of that room. Soon I will be the alpha, and I will get rid of you. My heart throbbed in my chest painfully. Tears don't want to fall down, as if it was dried from the too many cries and from the many bad days I have been through. That's why when he left, I decided to do not do what he wants. At least I should steal some time and see the outside world. I need that. Until then, I will do that and obey him without protesting. If he wants to kill me, then let him do it. I walked down and passed by the king room. I decided to fight, at least for my freedom. I wasn't stupid. I know that the king forced him to be mated to me. And I was sure if I passed by the king room, he will ask me to attend with him. And that's what happened exactly. I knocked on the door and the king smiled to me. Rosy, you are here? Where's Kane? I bowed royally. He left. He said, annoyed from Kane attitude. Then he held his hand up to take mine. That's not acceptable, so you will come with me now. Let's go. I think you will like it. I nodded happily and linked my arms to the king. My father was there. He trailed us. And once we had arrived at that place, I felt like a flying butterfly who wants to jump and run and dance all over the place. I felt like a baby girl, free, and no one were there to judge me. Everyone was greeting me. Sure, because I was the princess and supposed to be the queen soon, but they didn't see my face as well. I was sure if I took that veil, they will all scream and run away. But I didn't. I enjoyed the view and fireworks and the full moon scene and how everyone shifted and ran after each other cheerfully. I was watching them without taking any action. I wondered if I was able to shift or not. I wanted to try, but I didn't get any practice, and I wonder how my wolf shape will look like. Ugly as my human shape or not? Until Alpha Kane stepped closer and hanging his arms around a very beautiful she-wolf waist. He was throwing me with teasing looks as if she wanted to tell me soon she will be in my place and higher than me. As if she wanted to tell me, don't be so happy and hopeful, because she will be the queen. The king scolded Kane, Who is she? You should be with your mate. But I interrupted immediately the king, She is one of his old friends, your highness. I asked her to come. I lied and not for him, but to keep my dignity in a higher place. If he didn't want me and he rejects me, then I will reject him too. I don't want to be with him. I will wait for that day more than he does. The day that I will go back to my father's house. He pulled me to the dance floor and started dancing with me, only to insult me and scold me for ruining his night, bitch. Do you think that you could press on my nerves and force me to stay with you? That will never happen, and I will make sure to punish you for this. I didn't reply or comment on his words. Once we finished that dance, he walked away, leaving me as he always did. And I started dancing with anyone come into my path. Yes, I ignored him and not to tease him, but I wanted to tell him that I don't care anymore, that I'm not afraid, that I will live my life to the full if he left me. Was I happy? Satisfied? No. It was the time for Alpha Kane to shift, and I only saw how he looked like a monster in his wolf shape. Yes, tough, strong, and dark eyes, but that made me try to shift too, especially when his girlfriend shifted into a small gray wolf. I wanted to see if the goddess gifted me with a good wolf shape or not, but I didn't know how until my father patted on my shoulder and with his broken eyes said, "I wish I could do something for you to make you happy. I wish I was there when the fires." I placed my hand on his mouth. "Father, I'm sure that my shape as a wolf will be beautiful." And yes, seeing how sad my father was the button for me to blow up my wolf shape. And guess what? I was the most beautiful white with blue eyes she-wolf. Whispers and gasps and claps, and even my father widened his eyes amused, saying, "Oh my God, you look like the moon goddess in her shape." And yes, I didn't see the moon goddess before, but my father wasn't complimenting me because all of the wolves bowed respectfully, saying the same words were praising my huge size and my icy white fur. Even Kane shifted back to his human shape and stepped closer from me, patting on my body gently. "Oh my God, who are you?" And I ran away, far away, escaping that hurtful fate. For days, escaping all of these fake wolves and endless misery, alone by the lake, eating nothing, only in my wolf shape. For the first time, I loved being a wolf. For the first time, I was glad that I do have a good face. I wanted to live like a wolf forever. Rosy. Well, I came back. What should I do to survive? Honestly, I had no skills. I even newly shifted days ago. I don't know how I would live with no home or money. And most of all, I missed my father too much. He simply doesn't deserve heartaches because of me. I can't be selfish and let my dad worry about me for too long. So yes, I just decided to go back to my dad this time and hope my fate may change or anything good would happen next. Because I really don't deserve that horrible like Alpha Kane was giving me. I ran so far until I was so close to the castle, so I shifted back to my ugly human shape one more time. I put my clothes on me and covered my face with a piece of my dress because I dropped the veil when I was running. I walked slowly inside the castle. No one, and I mean no one, noticed me from the guards. Seriously, as if no one searched for me or even felt my absence. I sighed in depression and walked around for the first time to check on every part of the castle, until I heard noises coming from a stable. I wondered if there were any horses inside. I hurriedly walked to see the most gorgeous creatures I have ever seen in my entire life. White horses. Seriously, it was looking more like me in my wolf shape, and they didn't hate me for being a wolf or anything. On the opposite, I found myself surrounded by these cute horses, and they started licking my face. I was so happy. These horses didn't hate how I look without my veil. It was much relief that I even decided to spend my full day with them from now on. But the shot happiness didn't last because I heard a sharp voice calling my name, "Rosy! Where have you been for fuck's sake?" I turned my body slowly after I made sure to cover my face. I sighed weakly, almost skipped few heartbeats. "Yes, Your Highness," I couldn't continue my words because Alpha Kane's hands were on my face with a strong slap that made me fell on the ground. He yelled, "You bitch, I will make sure to let you know how to respect me. How dare you run away from me?" I shook my head, trembling in my tone, almost whispered, "I didn't, I just wanted to. I thought you wouldn't notice me away." And yes, why he would miss me. He pulled me up from the ground and didn't say any other word, only grumbled in anger and dragged me all the way to our room. We even passed by the king and my father, but he ignored them calling my name. He pushed me inside the room and locked it, then commanded me sternly, "Go and take a shower and come back." I blinked, confused, but I decided to face him. Even so, I was exhausted. I stood up and uncovered my face. "Your Highness, please reject me. Please break the bond. You do have a girlfriend and mistress, and I mean nothing to you. Why do you want me to stay?" He stomped closer from me and tightened his grip on my arms. "Because even with your fucking back, ugly face, but I..." He lingered in his words in the air. Then he gritted his teeth. "Because even so, I'm so fucking in love with you. Fucking idiot!" What? I thought something wrong happened to my ears. I was dumbfounded, but how? I widened my eyes, trying to find my tongue to say anything, but I couldn't. He walked away, staring through the window, and said, "I don't know what is going on with me, but all I know that I'm struggling with my feelings deep inside. I don't want you, but I can't live without you. But for now and until I could understand what I should do, you," he sighed, and rubbed his chin. "You are mine, Rosy. Now go and take a shower." I just dragged my feet slowly without commenting. I didn't give myself any hopes this time. I just decided to leave it to fate. I was like a ball in his hand, kicking me wherever and whenever he wants, so I was just a toy. I took a shower, and all I was thinking of, how he will punish me this time, or how he will fuck me. So rough or gentle? Should I cover my face or not? How anyone could love someone and hating his face? I coughed once I reached the bedroom. He was totally naked in bed. "Come over here, Rosy." His tone was so soft and gentle. He opened his arms to me, which shocked me. I hesitantly walked to the edge of the bed, and he pulled me to his chest. Then he uncovered my face and placed a soft kiss for the first time to my lips and hugged me tightly. "I missed you so much. I just want to cuddle you." He whispered into my ear and cuddled me, pressing his jaw to my neck without saying anything. We didn't sleep. All I was able to feel was his warm and tight hands on my waist and his hot breaths and sighs fanning my neck and my ear and his heartbeat throbbing deeply and sharply. What was going on? I was bewildered, but not like him. He was more like in the middle of a war, his war with himself, between his heart and his mind, whether to accept me as his mate or not. Even so, I know it was hard on him, but that wasn't an excuse either to forgive what I have been through because of him. For my first time in 8 months, I fall asleep comfortably without being afraid. But tomorrow was the day of my life, the day that everything should be settled and be clear. Yes, Alpha Kane will be the king. Alpha Kane? I was so fucking losing my mind without Rosy being around me. Yes, on the first night, all passed easily, and I even slept with my girlfriend. But the next day, when I woke up and saw another woman in my bed, I freaked out. I was in a very bad mood, and by the end of the day without seeing Rosy, my temper fucked up, and I decided to search for her. I thought her father, the beta, was hiding her from me. I called him and insulted and threatened him, but finally, I realized that he was worried about her. I sent guards everywhere in the kingdom to find her, but no one knows how she looks like, so it was like searching for a ghost. I decided to let it go and live normally, which was impossible because every day was passing by, just made me realize I want her to be with me. Until she came back after 8 days. Yes, I was counting the days. I wondered, how did she survive and how was she able to live without me? Did she hate me that much? All I could do was cuddling her all night. I did sleep comfortably finally after 8 days. But when I wake up the next morning and didn't find her, I just lost my mind again. I wore my clothes in a hurry and searched for her around the castle until my nose smells her body scent in the horse's stable. I barged in to find her riding a white horse and laughing. I have never seen her laugh before. Why she was happy away from me. Yes, I was jealous even from the horse. But I was busy because by night, the crown should be finally handed. I will be the king. But I guess life won't be crueler than I on her. Seriously, I saw the stable guy in the back lifting her up between his arms to help her get down on her own feet, and I couldn't handle that someone else was touching her. Yes, as I have done to my driver, I did for that one. But for her, I only commanded her sternly to get back to the room and wait for me. She was scared, but I was mad too. My self-ego controlled me. How a girl like her could turn me down, could laugh with a stable guy and not with me. Seriously, I could live without her. That was what my devil telling me. Even so, my wolf loved her, but my brain was telling me to think wisely. I intended to go back to the room and talk with her, but my girlfriend stopped me. "Hey, baby, I missed you." She hugged me and kissed my lips. I pulled her into one of the corners. "I told you, don't appear until after." She kissed me again. "I missed you." She pouted her lips. I can't say that I don't hold feelings for her. She was so beautiful and kinky, and I liked her. Moreover, her father was the alpha of another pack, and that would be the best for me. Yes! I was using all my surroundings to be even stronger than my father. Why not? I nodded and kissed her hand. "Baby, go now, and everything will be handled by tonight." She nodded, obeying, and winked at me seductively. "Tonight, we should celebrate my king." And I told my father that we would be mated soon officially. He is waiting for this moment to come. He said he will support you and will make sure to send you the best of his warriors. He wants you to be the strongest alpha ever. How could I reject something like that? She was a full package, beautiful and sexy, and the daughter of the strongest alpha pack. Damn it, how could I choose Rosy over her? Alpha Kane. It was the day that I have been waiting for so long. The day that I have sacrificed my happiness and accepted my father's condition and got mated to someone I don't like, only to be here and take the throne. Yes, I was ready, always was ready to be Alpha King. It was my dream since I was so young. I was prepared to be the most powerful and fearful alphas ever. But what should I do with Rosy? That was a big exclamation mark. Was I ready to get rid of her and break the mating bond? I wasn't sure yet. I was checking myself in the mirror for the last time after wearing my precious formal royal suit. I sighed when I noticed that Rosy didn't change her clothes yet. "Why, you are still in your sleeping clothes? Are you sick or something?" I asked in a normal tone. Oh yes, my heart was kind of softened with her. I can't deny that. But I had to make a fast choice before I hated how she looks, and I still hate her face. But I'm so attached to her. But I had to choose between her and being the most powerful alpha. Maybe by being with my girlfriend will make me the alpha king of all the alphas. I was mentally exhausted, but I didn't want to ruin my excitement and my happiness in 1 hour. I would be handed the throne, and I will lead that pack as their alpha. She said in a low voice, "I will stay here, wait for you." I turned my body and looked at her as if it would be the last time. "Please wear your clothes. You don't want the pack makes fun of me because my Luna didn't attend, right?" I know I could command her, but I didn't. I was more tender and kindly asking her, which wasn't me at all. I started to hate how much I want her. I started to feel distracted because of my heart beating for her. I started even to lose my mind because I think of her all of the time. And I haven't been sexually normal lately. Yes, I didn't cheat on her. I couldn't sleep away from her bed either. Deep inside me, I was very sure that I'm so fucking deep in love with her, and I hated that. I was fighting myself. I wanted to erase those feelings and go back before mating to her. I even started to hate the moon goddess because she was my mate. I know that Rosy was my real mate, not just a one in my life. But I have never admitted that. I cupped her cheeks. "Even so, you do have an ugly face, but I love your heart and your body and your smile." I brushed my nose warmly to her small nose. She blushed and nodded. "Thank you, Your Highness, and congratulations." I smiled back and hugged her, rubbing her back softly. "Okay, could you please wear your dress now? I don't want to be late." I waited for her until she has changed her clothes, and then she was ready. "You look nice, but..." I cleared my throat. I sighed. "Could you please, put the veil?" She lowered her gaze on the floor and sighed in depression. Yes, sure. I don't want to freak out the whole pack." It was harsh and rude, and seriously, it squeezed my heart. But she was right. The whole pack will get shocked and run away immediately once they look into her face. She covered her face, and I wrapped my arms around her waist. We walked down till we reached the ballroom where the king's ceremony has been held. The gates pushed aside, announcing our arrival. The music played, and all the heads bowed in our presence, except my father, of course. Once we reached my father, me and Rosy bowed royalty and respect for him. I was finally 25 years old, and in minutes, everyone greeted me for being the alpha. My father hugged me fatherly and leaned to my ear. "Be responsible for the pack and take care of your Luna." I nodded. "Sure, but duties of the pack come first, right? And that's when Rosy startled, afraid of my words, as if she knew what I mean by that. And yes, I was giving my father a hint for what I was aiming to do, but he didn't comment either on my words. I pulled Rosy for opening dance, and it might be the last dance for us together. After I have finished, Della, my girlfriend, and the daughter of Halloween Pack rushed to me and kissed my cheeks. Congratulations, Alpha. I kissed her back, but kept a distance because all the eyes turned to us. Once the celebration has finished, Della asked me to talk in private. She couldn't wait anymore. She dragged me to one of the rooms and started kissing me all over my face. Della, wait to calm down. I don't want anyone to see us tonight, I said to her, trying to push her aside. But too late, because Rosy just opened the door, and from a wide smile hanging a bunch of flowers in her hands to a grimace and suddenly dropped the flowers to fall on the floor. Rosy, I exclaimed. Rosy stepped backward. Please continue, what were you doing? And she turned her heels, running to our room, crying heavily. What the hell? Della wrapped her arms around my neck. Get rid of her tonight. My father wants to meet you now. He really has a strong deal. You will be amazed. I sighed. Not tonight, Della. Della crossed her arms over her chest and threw me with up and down looks. What? Do you care about her that much? Me and my father's support or her? Choose now. So hard. So fucking hard. My heart was racing in my chest, and I wanted to follow Rosy and kiss her, and my mind was telling me to be sane and wise and choose the best for me as an alpha. Rosy. The shock was something unbearable. That wasn't loving. Sure, I wasn't in love with him, but there's a mating bond between us. I was faithful and loyal and did my best to make him satisfied and happy. Why he insisted on humiliating me? Was my face that important? If it was, then why he couldn't remind himself that he was responsible for that? I dreamed and hoped that he might, at least after being officially the king of the pack, that he might have some mercy upon me and let me live normally, not blaming me and cheating on me and stepping on my dignity all the time. I just stood there in the room waiting for him. I packed a small bag. Deep inside me, I was waiting for what he will do next. But I couldn't imagine that will happen to me, ever. He barged into the room and locked the door behind him. I cleared my throat. Your Highness. I bowed, and he sighed deeply as if he didn't know from where he should start, but the self-ego and snooty alpha inside him rose up one more time. He raised his head up and started speaking from the tip of his nose. Rosy Franco, I the Alpha Kane, break the mating bond between us. My eyes widened. Even so, I felt the floor rotate under my feet. I couldn't handle those words. I nodded with a smile. I knew it. Okay, thank you. And I turned my body to take my bag and get out, but he grabbed my wrist roughly and threw me to the bed. I didn't say that you were going to leave me. I narrowed my eyes to him, confused. What? He raised his brows and proudly said, well, you are nothing. After all, it's not just because you are ugly, but you are just the daughter of the beta, and I need someone powerful to be my Luna. So I choose Della, the daughter of the alpha. I cut off him immediately and bravely, go to the hell with her. I don't care anymore about you, and you are nothing to me also. I pushed him, and his slap started to fall down my cheeks as if he was animal, kicking me everywhere in my stomach, but I didn't beg. Yes, I didn't cry. I tried to fight back. I knew I was weak, but I tried to tell him that I'm not scared of him anymore. I have had enough by living in misery with him. He clutched my hair aggressively and gritted his teeth. You will be my slave, my mistress. I crave your body. So you are not leaving this castle ever. I will lock you in. I pulled all my strength to push him away, then I stormed off the room, running until I reached the stairs. He pushed me bluntly as a killer in graving tone, yelling, so go and die. I don't want to see your fucking face ever again in my pack. Ever. And by that, I stumbled and I fell on the stairs. More than 10 stairs. Rolling over, and no one helped me until aches and pain in my stomach made me whine and cry heavily. Squealing, almost felt like dying. I lost my conscience. To open my eyes and see myself in the special room for the royal doctor inside the castle, a nurse was sitting next to me, checking on my bottom, which was still stained with a lot of blood. She whispered, "Please don't move, you lost a lot of blood," she said in a broken and pity tone. I stammered, "Why did I lose from my vagina a lot of blood?" I wondered, and my heart was pounding deep in my chest like drums. She sighed, trying to form a smile, and patted my shoulder. It's a miscarriage. Sorry about that. You lost your baby, Your Highness. I screamed. But then when she said Your Highness, it was like a high from me, to remind me that I'm not the Luna anymore, and it was the time for me to run away now, or I would never be able to do that. Killing myself is much better than living with a monster like Alpha Kane and be his own sex slave. I will never let that happen ever over my dead body. I dragged my feet, she tried to stop me and called for the doctor to help her. But I insisted and pushed them aside. Don't ever touch me, ever. And heartily, I ran away when my feet deceived me, and I was falling from an inch to another. I decided to shift, hoping that will give me more strength to run so far in less time. And gladly, I was out of that pack, ever forever. I laughed hysterically because it was supposed to be my birthday. I was turning into 21. How lucky I'm. I wanted to pass by my father and tell him what happened and that I need to go away, but it was a bad idea. Better for him to know nothing about me, because I wasn't sure yet if I will come back again or not. All I was thinking of ways to kill myself. I wish I had a friend to help me out, get out of my obstacles and my troubles, or even to listen to my pains and my sufferings, but I had no one. Just myself. I landed somewhere out of the territory. It was such a relief to get out of that hell. I stayed in my wolf shape and licked the blood by my tongue that was dripping out of me. I cried and whined over and over. Then I decided to end my life. It was the time to do that until my eyes caught someone in the deep sea drowning. I wasn't going to help him. Not because I've changed into a bad one, but because I wanted to die at that moment. But when I saw that he was a baby, I just couldn't neglect that. Rosy. I couldn't wait. I shifted back immediately into my human shape. Even so, the pain was killing me. I could barely stand on my own feet. Not sure if I will be able to swim or not. Especially that I didn't do that before ever. I was going to kill himself by drowning. But once I heard the kids screaming, I remembered when I was alone at the house. I was 10 years old, and the fire was eating everything around me. I remembered how terrific and horrific it was. I remembered that no one helped me at that time until I lost my pretty face in that fire. That's why watching that baby boy drowning encouraged me to do something. At least I should try. I swam, almost stained the water with my blood, but I initiated and controlled my body. I just lost my baby an hour ago, so I won't accept watching another baby die. I wasn't sure if he was a human kid or wolf from somewhere, but I didn't care. My conscience bugged me and squeezed my heart to save him. Finally, after a lot of suffering, I pulled his hand and lifted him on my back. I was so bad at swimming, but I did it, and I was glad. He was barely breathing. I could hear his heartbeats, and he was mumbling something I couldn't understand. I dragged him out of the water and placed him on the sand, reviving him by few pushes to his chest and giving him few breaths to fill his lung with air, until he threw up the water and came back to his normal breath, but his heart was still racing. He cried. I pulled him to my lap and patted his head. Don't cry. It's fine now. I'm here for you. He hugged me and pressed his head to my breast, stammering, They ran after me, and they kidnapped me, and I rubbed his back. His face was pale, and his body was shivering from coldness. I tried to warm him up. Wait for me here. I will go and find you something to eat. He clutched in my body and begged in sobbing tone, No, please don't go. Don't leave me. I'm scared. I sighed, confused, not sure what I should do, but mostly instinct rushed inside my blood and hit me with that idea. Okay, what's your name? He pouted childishly, raising his fingers to my face. My name is 7, and I'm 5 years old. I smiled at his cute facial expressions and pulled out my boobs. Okay, so there's milk in my breast now. You could drink some until we could find food and your parents. He nodded and thanked gods. There was a lot. He drank as a little born baby until his body warmed up, and then he falls comfortably while I was cradling him. I lifted him between my arms and slowly walked inside the cave to sleep, too, because I was exhausted. After a couple of hours, I wake up on his fingers, poking my cheeks and giggling, calling me, Mommy, wake up, Mommy. I thought I was imagining until I saw him standing in front of me with this melting smile that could make a stone heart melt. My tears almost streamed on my face, but I surprised myself and kissed his cheeks. I'm up now, so tell me what happened. He sat on my lap and wrapped his small arms around my neck. I was playing in the garden with my friends with the ball, then I kicked it so far, I ran to search for the ball, then those bad guys appeared and tied my hands. But my father taught me how to release my hands, so I used that trick when they saw me united. They ran after me. Then I tried to escape, but I fall in the water and no one helped me. He made a puppy face. I cupped his cheeks gently. I helped you, remember? He nodded and kissed my cheeks. Yes, I love you, Mommy. He kept calling me Mommy, and I was confused. Why did he call me by that? But I didn't want to ask him, so tell me where we could find your parents. He stood up and jumped cheerfully. On the other side of the sea, I'm the son of the Alpha of Rogues. And my mom died because my head was too big, so I stuck in her vagina and she died. He was explaining while acting as an actor in the middle of a play. I smiled. I'm sure she is looking at you from the sky now, and she loves you and misses you. And she didn't die because your head is big. I assured him. He swung his head and blinked, playing with his small pink lips. Really? Then why did she leave me? I sighed and hugged him tightly. Because it's the life, no one knows. But now, let's go, Mr. Puppy Wolf, to your father. I wasn't sure if he was really the son of the Alpha Rogues, but even if I was going through a dangerous pack, I wouldn't care. I have nothing to lose or to be scared of anymore. I will help that little baby wolf in my life. After a couple of hours of walking, we reached the other side of the territory, the forbidden dark hole pack. I have heard about that strong alpha who has powers to rule all the werewolves, but he decided to rule his pack only. I don't know why, because I didn't care to know. For me, I was only crying about the surroundings of my house, because I didn't step out ever. Once we reached the borders, I tried to rip something of my stained clothes to hide my face, but Seven, whom I was carrying on my back, said, Mommy, don't hide your face. I love you. For the first time, I heard those words, worshiping and honesty and purity. I was so happy that I even felt like killing whoever kidnapped him. I nodded, okay, Seven, and I love you too. He guided me for the way of his house, and the kid wasn't a liar. We reached the castle of Alpha Zeus, the Alpha of the Rogues. I heard noises and guards rushing towards me yelling, step away. But Seven groaned and showed his face giggling. It's my father. Suddenly a very handsome man, tall and wide, sexy and with rough, scary facial expressions, smiled back at his son and pulled him into a wide hug. Seven, what happened? Seven gestured to me. Mommy helped me from the killers. Once Seven blurted that Alpha Rogue knelt down to my feet. Thank you for help. He lingered his words in the air. He gazed at me, and I covered my face immediately with my hands. Sorry, I know I'm ugly, but he stood up and pulled my hand away and shook his head. Ugly? How could an ugly woman help my son? You are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen in my entire life, Rosy. I gulped nervously. Rosy? How did he know my name? I blinked, confused. Sorry to ask, but are you blind? I didn't mean to insult him, but only blind could see me as beautiful. He smiled and shook his head. Rosy, sorry, I used my powers to know your name. And no, I can see you clearly. The scars can't change your pure heart. Please come with me. I followed him, and Seven hung up next to me. Mommy, stay with us, please, Mommy. Alpha Zeus glanced back to me. Please stay with us, my dear mate. What? Alpha Zeus. I didn't know how that happened. He was playing, and I blamed myself for what happened to him. But since my Luna and 7 mothers died while she was giving birth to him, I made a vow not to kill anyone ever again unless he was a bad guy or if there was war or dangerous threatening my pack. But I guess my past enemies didn't forget and didn't forgive either. They wanted me dead, but because they couldn't reach me, they looked for my only son, 7. I almost died scared to lose him. I searched everywhere around my kingdom. I even commanded my warriors to get ready, and I was going to move further to other territories to search for my son. I didn't care if that was something forbidden or unwelcomed by other packs or not. I didn't care if that might bring death to my pack and me or not. All I was thinking to save my child. But once I was getting out of my castle, there was a strong scent of a woman hit my nose. It became even stronger. I don't know why I searched my eyes for her. That didn't happen to me ever in my life, even with my dead Luna. Yes, she wasn't my mate. I picked her normally, something like an arranged marriage. But she was too good and very beautiful, like the moon goddess herself, like a sun shining in the middle of the dark. But suddenly I heard my baby voice. He was on the back of that woman. I was so relieved and happy to see him in front of me. But I was so happy to see her too. The feeling inside me was too strong to be denied. That can't be normal. The high heartbeats that stroke my chest as if my heart wanted to jump out of my body to her, and my veins that popped off my arms. My nose kept sniffing her body scent. All I could see was her eyes that melted me and made me swoon like a bad swimmer drowning in an endless sea. I even felt like hugging her, but I controlled myself because of the warriors around us, and especially my son. Surprisingly, and for the first time, my son called another woman by mommy. I was dumbfounded by that. Subconsciously, I knelt and thanked her. She tried to cover her face that was filled with bruises and scars, but I couldn't see her as ugly at all. I wanted to look at her face forever. I was touched by her pure, kind heart. Maybe when you love someone, you only see his pretty sides. I asked her to follow us, especially when I spotted the blood over her clothes and how she could barely walk. I wanted to know everything about her, but I didn't want to be pushy. I wanted her to change her clothes first and take a rest, then we will start over. But my son was so clingy to her. He even stabbed the floor by his small feet and said, "No, please. Mommy, let me shower with you." "Seven, stop. The nanny will do that," I said sternly. But Rosy bent down to his face and smiled. "Sure, we can do that. Let's go now." I interrupted her. "You don't have to do that. The will." She cut off me politely. "Please, Your Highness, let me do it. I just lost." She sighed and pressed on her tummy. Then she weakly said, almost in whispered, broken tone, "I just lost my baby." It hurt me to know that she had a mate, but it hurt me more to see her in pain, as if what happened to her was my own business. As if I had to do something to make her happy. I opened my mouth to say sorry about that, but she bowed royalty to me. "Please let anyone guide me to the shower room." "My name is Zeus. Please call me by my name," I asked her nicely. She blushed. "It's so kind of you, but I'm less in rank, so..." I placed my hand to her soft lips. "Call me Zeus, and you are not less. We are mates," I said, emphasizing on my last words. She lowered her gaze to the floor and trembled to ignore my words. I guess she didn't believe that. Hell damn it, even me! I couldn't believe that either until I saw her and met her in reality. She accused me, and my son's 7 and maids guided her. After half an hour, I heard noises coming from upstairs. I climbed hurriedly and barged into the room. "What is? Damn it! What is that body, for God's sake?" I snapped to myself to do not stare at her bare, naked, sexy body, and turned my head immediately. "Sorry about that. I thought something bad happened." I apologized for opening the door of the room without knocking. 7 jumped on the bed and giggled. "I was playing with Mommy, Daddy." "Mommy, why he keeps saying that? Does he feel what I feel towards her? I have never seen him that happy." She coughed. "Never mind, Your Highness. You can turn around now." And I turned slowly. She covered her body with a towel. "I'm sorry. I forgot to tell the maids to give you something to wear." She scratched the back of her neck, sadly staring away from my eyes. "Never mind. I'm so grateful to you. I just need." I cut instantly in concern. "Anything, please ask for anything." She dragged her feet to the bed and sat slowly. "If there's a doctor, because I'm still bleeding since last night, and I guess I don't have the built to heal fast." I stormed out of the room immediately, calling my men and my beta. "Bring all the royal doctors here now." And I rushed back to her. I bent to her feet and helped her to lay her body to the bed. "Please relax now. Do you mind if I asked, who are you and what happened? Do you have a mate?" I was curious. I know she was sick and bleeding and dying. "Fuck, not dying, please." She deeply sighed, taking a long breath, then said, "Simply and directly, I was mated to Alpha Kane, and when his father handed him the throne, he broke the mate bond between us. I stumbled while I was running and lost my baby, so that's it." I widely, awkwardly smiled. "Really? So he is not your mate now?" "Sorry, not sorry. I'm so glad that he broke the bond." She stared at me confused and shocked, but then she laughed. "I'm so happy too. He was so horrible, and I suffered a lot because of him, even my ugly face. He was the reason for that." I patted her schedulers. "I need to go and bring the doctors now for you." Don't worry, you will be fine. Once I stood up and walked to the door, she mumbled, I'm not worried. Actually, I wanted to die. I turned my head immediately and hugged her. No, please don't say that I need you in my life. Then I pointed to my son. I mean, Seven needs you, right, Seven? Seven hugged her. Yes, I need Mommy. She feeds me from her breast, and her milk was good. My eyes moved down to her covered boobs. I didn't mean to be nasty, but I wanted to taste her milk too. Was that bad? The doctors in a minute filled the room. I left because I couldn't see her vagina, at least not now. She wasn't officially mine, and I didn't want to break my boundaries with her. I wanted to respect her. Obviously, she has suffered a lot, but I was craving to see every inch of her body. Can't deny that. After a few minutes, they came out and told me, Your Highness, she will be fine. She just needs to sleep. I nodded and knocked, then stepped inside. Okay, so I will make the maids prepare a room for you now to sleep. But Seven wrapped his arms around her neck. No, please. I want to sleep with Mommy. Rosy smiled and kissed his forehead. Thank you, but I would love to sleep in Seven's room next to him, please, she asked me softly. Sure, don't say please. Just snap by your fingers and I will do anything. You are under my protection now, Rosy. I leaned and kissed her forehead and said confidently and sincerely. And I left them together sleeping, but I couldn't sleep or take a rest at all. I made sure to prepare for her to stay with us forever. I will never let anyone take her from me. Ever. She is mine, Rosy. I woke up the next morning to see the sun for the first time, to hear the birds' whistles, to see the flowers blossoming. Everything around me seemed like a real paradise, not Rogue's kingdom. And as if the moon goddess wanted to give me back what I have lost in just one night, a mate and a son. Yes, I know that he wasn't my real mate. I mean, I know nothing about these things. But I was happy and comfortable to see his green light eyes in front of me, and I would never get bored. 7. He was so cute. Actually, any child in his age is kinda cute, but he was more than that. He didn't freak out from my face. He didn't ask me to stay away from him. He called me Mommy. That was enough for me to feel the same towards him. If I was dreaming, then I would love to be sleeping forever. When I woke up the next morning, I found a very nice but simple dress next to me. 7 was glaring at me as he knew me a long time ago and missed my face. Are they crazy? Seriously, how Alpha Zeus and his son could love my face? I myself hate my face. It was definitely unbelievable. Hey, cutie, what are you doing? Why you didn't wake me? I ruffled his hair, kidding with him. He grinned widely, showing his small white teeth. I missed you. I didn't want to wake up. Daddy said to leave Mommy sleeping. The echo of Mommy to my ears was bliss, like a spell of happiness. Send electricity all over my body in such a good way. I stood up and chuckled. Okay, I will take a fast shower and change my clothes then. He made a puppy face. I want to come with you. I was in need to check on my vagina if I was healed or not, which made me grimace already because if that monster Kane didn't push me and kick me bluntly, I would have had my own baby in my womb by now. But I guess gods didn't like to keep me attached by way or another to Kane. I'm sorry if he bothered you. I heard a sexy but sharp voice snapping me from my zone. I turned my head to see Alpha Zeus. I bowed my head. Your Highness, no, he didn't bother me. He stepped closer with unreadable facial expressions. Could be dangerous, could be mysterious, or might be desirable. He leaned warmly to my face and said slowly in husky tone, Zeus, my name is Zeus. Could you say that? He chuckled and burst in light giggles. I thought you were going to. He raised his brow, joking. What? Kiss you? I muttered, biting my lips shyly. No, kill me. He faked heartaches by placing his hand on his heart. You just killed me. How could I do hurt my soulmate? Why does he keep on saying mate? Is that real? I want someone to pinch me or something. All of a sudden, King Zeus lifted his son up and came close to my face and said to her, Pinch, Mommy. I flashed, huh? King Zeus asked, waving up his brow up and down to me. You didn't say pinch what? I mean your nose or. He teased me, roaming his eyes down to my boobs. I crossed my arms to my chest, not rudely, but to cover my breasts innocently. He cupped my head and placed a soft kiss on my cheeks that made my heart beat strongly. I swear I felt dizzy. I felt like I will lose my conscience. The blood circulations rushed all over my body. What was that? Love? The affection of his warm body made Mem feel on heat. I cleared my throat. My king, I need to excuse you two. He blurted out, "You are not leaving here, not forcing you, but where would you go? I will protect you and care about you and make you happy and—" He paused, staring deeply into my eyes. I nodded. "Yes, and what?" He smirked devilishly. "And take your shower, then come down. We will wait for you in the garden. I will leave a maid here with you to help you wear your clothes and guide you to the garden." I liked that lights were everywhere, nothing like yesterday. I knew when we came it was almost dark, but it was really dark. There was no light, not candles, not anything. I wasn't giving myself hopes, but I really feel that by joining their lives they have changed a few things for me. And I guess by them in my life, I feel like I do have a life. But I used to cover my face even when I was in my father's house. For the maids, they didn't disgust me because the housekeeper in my father's house practically raised me since I was young. But they used to look at me with pity and sorry looks, and I hated that. I took my shower, and I checked my vagina, and I guess the medicine of that doctor in the rogues pack is much better than in our old pack. Anyway, once I stepped out of the shower room, I found dozens of maids. I gasped, almost dropped my jaw, and hurriedly put a towel on my face. "What all of you are doing here?" "Please, our king asked us to help you, your highness," they said in the same breath and bowed royally to me. "Please, just one, oldest of you. Please." I requested that because the oldest will be nice to me and will not freak out of my face. And yes, she did. She commanded them, "Girls, out now, prepare breakfast and flowers, and serve the table in the garden." I sighed in relief. Thank God. "Darling, you could take down the towel now." Her voice was too motherly. I hesitantly did that. She was like a full moon face, round and light with her blue eyes and her soft look. I felt as if she was my mother. She smiled at me and stuck her face to my face. "You are beautiful. You need to be confident about that. We are not here to judge you. And we all love you now because you brought happiness and waves of laughter to this miserable family, and you saved our little baby Seven." I widened my eyes in thunderstruck. "Miserable," she sighed. "I will tell you everything later, in girls' chat talk. But now you need to get ready. All of you are hungry." She combed my hair and let it fall down to my waist and helped me to wear that amazing, simple white dress with a small pink ribbon under the breast. Then guided me out till we reached the garden. Seven hurried to me, jumping and bawling, "Mommy, Mommy." I lightly smiled and walked slowly. King Zeus said loudly with a sharp tone, "Be my Luna, Rosy, marry me." I stuttered, "What?" I thought he was making fun of me. I was glad that I covered my face, even so the maid told me not to do that. He stomped towards me and pulled the veil away and gazed to me as if he was mad at me. "Don't ever hide your face, ever. Now, be mine, please." From stern tone to very soft. I was puzzled. "It's a very bad joke," I commented. He raised his brow and leaned into my face, glaring to my lips. I have thought he would do that. He strokes my lips with his warm mouth, sucking slowly in my lower lips as if he was tasting every inch of me. Then he pulled back and said, smiling, "It wasn't a joke. Please be mine." I fainted. Rosy. I came back to my consciousness to find myself in a king-size bed in a different room. No one was there. I rolled off the bed and stood up, trying to remember what happened, and I felt dizzy once I rememorized what Alpha Zeus had said to me. Knocks on my door, maids bowed and asked me to follow them. I did, silently. Alpha Zeus and Seven were there next to each other, waiting for me, obviously to have breakfast. I greeted them with a vulnerable smile. I was silent, doubtful, and puzzled and embarrassed. Not sure what I should do. At breakfast, I was somehow feeling like a newcomer, not to be a burden on them. I know he was Alpha of Rogues, but still, I was a stranger and feeling like an intruder. I came back from my overthinking when Seven pushed the slice of pizza to my mouth. "Mommy, eat this, please." I couldn't let him down with his pleading voice and puppy eyes. I chewed slowly and commented, "It tastes delicious? Yummy." Seven giggled and leaned, tickling his tummy. He was so cute, and to be honest, if I agreed to what Alpha Zeus offered, then it will be for Seven's sake. I want to be his mother. Alpha Zeus interrupted us. "Seven, please, leave us now alone." Seven graciously nodded and waved, then ran, I guess back to the garden to play. I coughed, lowering my gaze to my palms. Alpha Zeus said directly, "I want to live the rest of my life with you." He trailed off. "So what's your answer?" I raised my eyes slowly to him, slowly controlled myself to bring back a normal tone. Alpha, I would love to, but I have a condition. He raised his brow. A condition? I trembled under his gaze. It's a request, and please listen to me first. I asked him politely, and in a low voice. I wasn't sure what will be his reaction yet, but at least I should try. He nodded. Okay, anything for you. I want to make plastic surgeries to be normal again. I mean, beau. He cut off my words in anger in his tone, then slammed the table with his both hands. To be beautiful, and everyone looks at you and crave to be with you, and make all the eyes pop out for your beauty, and to go back to your fucking alpha, Kane? Is that what do you want? I didn't live for long with him, but I didn't think that he will be so angry like this and think of me this way. I mean, I have told him everything about my suffering already. Then why did he say those hurtful words? No way, I don't want to make the same mistake twice. I'll never agree to be mated to someone replica of Kane. Never. I stood up and excused him mostly, then walked back to the room. I blew a deep breath away. Then I started changing my clothes into the old one that I have arrived with. But before I could open the door and leave, Alpha Zeus was blocking my path. He murmured, "Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. He paused and rubbed his face, then continued, "Okay, I do agree to this condition." My eyes streamed with tears, my lips trembled, and my heart raced in my chest as if two hearts were inside. I jumped to his chest and hugged him happily, saying, "Thank you for making my wish come true. Thank you for being my savior." He smirked with a grin, closing the distance between his lips and my mouth. "And your mate. Did you forgot?" I blushed shyly, pulling myself away. "Yes, my mate. But after turning me into pretty, I want to live normally with you and Seven. Please." He shrugged with a wide smile, more like surrendering to my wishes, but I felt that he wasn't really into this, as if he wanted me to be ugly forever. I couldn't tell why, but it was my instinct. "Okay, as you wish, but for now, we need to go shopping," he winked to me, and walked closer, then raised his brows. "Why are you wearing this? Take this fucking shit off you now." I obeyed and mouthed, "Sorry." He patted my head. "Okay, I will be waiting for you downstairs. Take your time." Even by his word, take your time. He was the opposite of Alpha Kane, who always said, "Don't be late or I will punish you." He took me on his horse, not in a limo or something. He said that around the pack, there's a lot of good stores that I will like. I was happy already, and my heart fluttered by his nice words and how he didn't feel embarrassed from showing up next to me, hand in hand, and to wrap my arms around his waist. I swear I felt that I was in my own fairy tale on a horse hugging my prince. We were joking and laughing most of the time. He showed me almost every inch of the pack. It took an hour until we reached the stores. And as he said, I was mesmerized by the fact that finally I was free to choose what I need and what I want. But I didn't choose because he was kind of possessive about my clothes and at the same time so generous. I tried first few dresses, were showing parts of my body, not slut clothes, but revealing a few inches of my leg. He said, "I don't want anyone to see your body except me." So I nodded. "Okay, I will choose another." He shook his head. "No, we are here to make you have fun. So trying these just for fun." I couldn't understand what he means. "So we aren't going to buy any?" He laughed hysterically. "You are so naive. We will buy everything, actually, but you won't wear all of them in public." He winked. And I widened my eyes shocked when he asked his beta, who was following us everywhere as Alpha Zeus' shadow, "So buy all these clothes and bring it to the castle." I gasped shockingly. "What? No, it's too much." He raised his brow. I thought I had said something wrong, but he instead bowed to place a small soft kiss to my hand. "Nothing is much for you." He dragged me out. "Now time to buy some jewelry," he said, as if he was going to buy me lingerie or something, as if it was cheap. And yes, he asked me to choose everything I do like, or he will buy the whole store. Practically, we bought half the store. Diamonds and collars and diamond rings. Everything I hadn't even been able to dream of. We finished our shopping, and I was too exhausted. I wanted to gift him something, but I didn't have much money, so I decided to cook for him. But he dragged me upstairs, saying that he wants to give me another thing. He stood by his room, then opened the door and said proudly and happily, "So from now on you will stay in my room. It's the best room in the castle." And until the time comes for our official mating party, I will stay in another room. My Luna should live in higher level and be in higher grade more than the Alpha himself. He placed a soft kiss on my forehead and said before going out, "So take your shoes now and come down for dinner. I will cook for you." I blinked. "Cook for me?" He smiled and salute in military sign, then left. I glued in my place, staring at the door after he left for an hour or something. I couldn't believe that the moon goddess finally gifted me with someone like him. He was like a treasure. No, he was like a god, and he was even cooking for me? Alpha Zeus. I was too happy that she finally opened her heart for me. I was sure by the days that have passed with her that she was my mate. Sure she was, and I have been certain about that from the first time I saw her, but she wasn't sure, and she still hesitates about that. Maybe because she is not confident enough about her inner self and how innocent and good she was. For her, the face and the looks are important to regain her confidence, but I wish she could know that will make me crazy about her and jealous as fuck. But I will try my best to do not show my possessiveness and how obsessed I was about her. Her smile light up my world and my son's life and the whole pack. Everyone loved her, but she was still embarrassed by her face. I restrained her from covering her face. Yes, I wanted everyone to see how she looks, but not in our engagement party. She insisted. That day, I wanted to make a surprise for her. She agreed to have our engagement party before her surgery, but we didn't set an exact date for that. Yes, I wanted to make it like a surprise, especially that last night. I asked my men and my wise man, who was like the eye I could see with, to bring a lot of books and put them up in a reading room. And I surprised her with that. She didn't leave the room since then. 1. I even passed by the reading room in the early morning to find her sleeping and the book on her chest. She loved reading, and I wanted to make all her dreams come true. I covered her with a blanket and adjusted her body on the couch and left her to do not disturb her good dreams, especially that she was slightly smiling in her sleep. I don't know how she could think that she is ugly. She was like an angel. I know that her face bruised, but it didn't ruin her eyes look or her pink lips, soft smiles, or even her dimples. I mean, I could clearly see how pretty she will be after surgery, and that makes me scared. Yes, everyone would want a piece of her, and she might leave me and go back to her first mate. As if I will allow anyone to take her from me? I will kill him. I was too drowned on my thinking until my beta arrived at my office by the evening. Alpha, everything is ready. And guests arrived. I nodded and stood up. Good, I will go now and tell her. I walked to her room, which was mine actually, but I wanted her to get used to sleeping in that bed because soon we will be mated and sleep there. I knocked on the door, asking for permission to get inside. "Baby girl, can I come in?" "Yes, sure." She stood up from her chair. I blurted out immediately with a cheerful smile, "Get ready now, please." She blinked. "Why? Are we going somewhere?" I swung my head, teasing her slowly. "No, we are." Then I waited. She strode closer, confused. "We are what?" "We are getting engaged, sweetheart, now." I tickled her ear with my fanning breaths. I wanted to kiss her, but I gulped nervously and awkwardly scratched the back of my neck. "So get ready. I will be waiting in a minute after you're due." "Or should I help you dress?" I loved how she was blushing shyly, honestly. I tried not to kiss her, but I just couldn't. I pecked her lips. She pushed me slightly, giggling. "Get out now. I want to wear my clothes, and could you get me a veil, please?" she asked, hesitated, but with her puppy eyes, I wouldn't say no. I sighed deeply and nodded. "As you wish." The engagement party was so good, she was dancing with me all the time, that I even inhaled exhausted. "Baby, I will die soon. You are so hyperactive," I mentioned. She pouted her lips. "Please, I want to dance. I feel like alive with you." I nodded and kept dancing. She politely stood up on her heels to reach my face. I leaned closer to her lips. "What? Don't say that you want me to kiss you now in front of those people, because be sure I will do that." She hit my chest gently, kidding. "Don't. I want to tell you a secret and ask your permission for something." I cupped her cheeks and glared at her. "Please say it. Don't make me worry." She bit her lips. "I can sing, and I want to ask you. I really want to sing a song for you now." I eyeballed the field ballroom around me. I grumbled, but I surrendered. Okay, but don't sing too good. I don't want to kill someone because he was charmed by you. She blinked. I moved my fingers softly to her cheeks. I'm kidding, baby girl. Please do that. And yes, she sang for me, love song, and I was so glad. I said I love you, but I lied. 'Cause this is more than the love I feel inside. Said I loved you, but I was wrong. 'Cause love could never ever feel so strong. And her voice was like birds' chirps. She was like a witch or magician attracts all the ears and eyes towards her. I rushed towards her after clapping heartily, then kissed her cheeks. Her face was covered, but at that moment, I was glad that they couldn't see her pretty eyes. I walked to the buffet, and we both ate, laughed jokes. I praised her singing and her voice. I poured a wine of glass and drank, and she asked me to taste some. I had no idea that was her first time to drink, and damn it. Just by 2 sips, she started laughing lightly and said, I think I'm drunk. And I lifted her up between my arms and walked to her room. I placed her to the bed and helped her to take her clothes and change into other sleeping clothes. I hesitated, but she didn't look okay. And yes, I was jealous even from the female maids to see her body. I covered her, and I did my best to do not check on her pretty white good body that was like art. Seriously, God put all his art in her body. She pulled my hand. Please don't leave. I stared at her. I will come back. She cut off me and pulled me to the bed, that I even fell on her body. Please sleep with me tonight, please. Rosy. I wake up, yawning and stretching my body. I was dreaming the best dream ever. I smiled even before I could open my eyes. It was a very wet dream. Alpha Zeus wakes up from my scream and stared at me, confused. What is it? What happened, baby girl? I trembled and immediately pulled the bed sheets to cover my bod. What happened? He named his eyes confused. What? Don't you remember what happened last night after the engagement party? I shook my head, trying to remember, but it was hard. No, I don't. He rubbed his face in anger and frustration and stood up immediately, wearing his clothes. I told you that you were drunk, and we shouldn't do that before the mating ceremony. I cleared my throat, trying to remember, almost squeezing my memory. Then everything flashed back in my head as a nice, sweet movie. Last night, please sleep with me tonight. I pulled his hand. He shook his head, disagreeing, but he looked as if he really wanted to. I pulled him to the bed, and that made him top my body. Our lips soon crashed, and we were getting more warmer and passionate. He tried to suppress himself and be dominant. We need to stop now. I don't want you to regret that tomorrow. You're drunk, baby girl. I pushed him slightly an inch back, but only to take off my dress. I want you now. I'm on heat. Please. The end of flashback, and that was all I could remember. I made a puppy face. We did it, he mumbled. Sorry, I didn't have any intentions to take advantage of you. I frowned. I'm so angry and really mad at you. He mumbled angrily. I said I'm sorry. I'm not angry because we did it. I replied back instantly, glaring at his eyes in depth. He blinked and softened his tone. Then why are you angry then? I pulled him back to sit next to me, and then I wrapped my arms over his neck, because I don't remember the details. He chuckled. Are you serious? I nodded, assuring him and giving him much explanation. Is he kidding? I would love to remember every single detail of last night and how we did it and how he enjoyed it. I said slowly, almost whispering, but curiosity killed me as it killed the cat, and I wouldn't like to die now actually only from being curious. I just found my mate, and I would love to know how he treated me in bed. So, how we did it? I asked awkwardly, more in general, but I was blushing already. He swung his head more seductively, or maybe I was so wet that I felt so. He moved his both hands to my bare shoulders, giving me shivers down to my spine. His affection over my body was something like electricity. No, it was something stronger, as if I was a volcano that is going to erupt. It was a very intimate and lovely night. He teased me. I pouted my lips. No. I mean, did you cover my face by a veil or even by the pillow, or did you turn off the lights too? He placed his hand on my lips. What the hell are you saying, Rosy? Why would I do something like that? Was he doing this? The tears filled my eyes. Sorry, I didn't want to remind you with his fucking ass. Please don't cry. I'm not crying because of him. I'm crying because you are so sweet and kind, and I wouldn't imagine that the moon goddess would gift me with a man like you. I pressed my face to his chest and hugged him tightly, scared to lose him. He patted my head and showered my shoulder with warming kisses that warmed me up. I slowly pulled back and gazed at him. He smiled. What? I bit my lips and moved my fingers sensually to his bare, muscled chest, then moved my hand down playfully to his pant. I want you now, please. I pleaded seductively. He gripped my hand. I thought that he didn't want me at that moment. Or maybe he was just complimenting me about last night, that's all. Maybe he has changed his mind to go further in our relationship. I was thinking mutely, then he smiled. I could read your mind, by the way, and I loved every single second with you, and I would like to go further in our relationship as mates. But he paused and then pushed me down, laying my body and stood on his own feet, saying while shooting me with lovable and desirable looks, "But to do that now, I do have one condition." He raised his finger to my face. I nodded. "Yes, sure." He blurted out, "I want to see your face while doing this, so don't hide it. But, no buts, that's my condition." He raised his brow, stressing on his words. More dominance in his words. I nodded cheerfully and excitedly. "Whatever you want, mate. I will do anything for you." He winked to me. I blushed. "Okay, so what we are going to do now? We will cuddle, kiss, and I will cook for you. And I cut off him. All that for me? Am I in heaven or what?" He chuckled at my facial expressions. "You're too cute. You deserve more. And no, you are not in heaven, but me. With you, I feel like something important, not useless." "You're important, Alpha, Zeus." I wanted to remind him that he was Alpha and ruling his own kingdom, one of the strongest packs ever. He was the Alpha of Rogue. He rolled off the end and walked away. "I will come back with the breakfast, take your shower." He stopped by the door. "By the way, the surgery is tonight, so if you want to cancel that." I hopped off the bed instantly and jumped to his chest, kissing his face and his neck. "Oh my God, thank you, thank you." But I can tell he wasn't happy at all. He was just happy because I was so grateful that he made sacrifices for my sake. But why he didn't want me to become beautiful? That was the real question that was eating up my brain. And sooner or later, I should find an answer to that. Rosy. It was the day, my lucky day, the day I have dreamed of my whole life. Since I was 10 years old, when the fires ate up my father's house and my face as well. I waited for so long to a miracle or some healing to my face. I wanted eagerly to see my real face after growing up. Would I be hot and cute or pretty? But anything will be much better than I look at that moment. I prayed a lot, and I guess the goddess finally heard my pure heart asking for a savior. My savior. Alpha Zeus's, and how I could be more lucky to find my mate and become beautiful. It was a real bliss. Even magic wouldn't be able to reach that degree. I was getting ready, sleeping on the bed of the operation room before starting their mission to transform me. Alpha Zeus pulled my hand and placed a soft, vulnerable, and honest kiss that fluttered my heart and made me feel dizzy without being injected by any kind of medication. I smiled and mouthed, "Thank you for everything." He patted my hair. "Thank you for being with me and accepting me. I will be next to you. I will attend the whole surgery," he informed. I was amused. "But it will last for hours. You should go and get rest." He shook his head. "If it will last for years, I will be waiting, and remember, I will always love you. Your face doesn't matter to me." Pecked his lips softly. "Thank you." Suddenly, the beta barged into the operation room. He looked excited but concerned. Alpha Zeus in dominating and rage in his voice. "What are you doing here?" I said no one is allowed to enter the room, even you. Are you fucking stupid? "Zeus," I said softly to calm him down. He nodded, then gestured to his beta to come closer. "So, what's the urgent matter, beta? It better to be urgent." "Your Highness, there's a messenger from the alphas of all the territories. They are asking you kindly to honor them for their gathering. They want to make peace with us, the rogues." The beta said excitedly but still trembling under Alpha Zeus' gaze. I think it was good news. He wasn't a bad wolf after all. And actually, I feel alive between the pack wolves here. All of them are so kind. Alpha Zeus muttered sternly. "What's written in the message?" he asked the beta. The beta pulled the message out of his pocket and rolled it, then started reading. It was stamped by the Alpha King of all the Alphas. "Alpha Zeus, I'm sending you an invitation to our gathering. I hope you would be able to come and make peace with us. After all, nothing bad or any wars occurred for years. And we are so grateful to you. We think that we should all be as one again. I'm not asking you to be under my authority because you are much powerful than me. But as an elder alpha, I'm asking you kindly and fatherly to attend. Maybe someday you will take my place over the alphas. I'll be waiting for you next week. And bring your Luna. I would like to know more about her. I have heard that you had finally met your soulmate. Signed, Alpha King of all the Alphas. I blurted out cheerfully and instantly, wow, he is so nice, I think you should go. Alpha Zeus turned his eyes to me. We should go. Me and you. He pecked my lips and smiled back softly, but I could tell he was concerned or maybe mad. I didn't know. After hours of pain, yes, being pretty gives pain, but I wouldn't care if that will end with good results. They finished and I opened my eyes. My full face was wrapped, but not my eyes. I was in my own room, our room. I breathed in relief, but excited to find out how I will become. I thought they would wrap my face immediately, but Alpha Zeus said to me, "Don't touch that, be careful, or you'll ruin everything." I nodded, obeying. I would prefer to die and not to turn myself into another monster. Okay, but when I will take it and see my face. He pulled me to his chest after a few days, I think by next week, on the same day for the gathering. By the way, do you think we should go or neglect that invitation? I mean, I don't really give a shit about peace. I'm much stronger and I cut off. I want to, and I would like you to have some allies. Living like shunned is not good. And actually, you and that pack are much better than my pack that I used to live with. So, you should prove them wrong. You should show them how better are your pack. I said proudly and confidently. He chuckled. I see that you are much excited than me. Okay, we will do that. But now, we need to do something first. He licked the corner of his mouth. I flickered shyly. He leaned closer to my lips. We need to make a baby. I laughed at his word expression. Make a baby? He raised his brows and nodded before shoving his tongue into my lips. Twins or triples, anything from you. All I could say is that I didn't feel dying to see my new face, because I didn't have a spare minute to think about everything. We were on a mission to make a baby for the whole week. I didn't have the chance to get out of the bed at all unless taking a shower or going to the bathroom. Even our meals, the maids served it to us in bed. It was like a rehearsal for our honeymoon that was supposed to be after 2 weeks of the gathering. But yes, my heart was craving, eagerly to see my pretty new me, or even the normal new me. Until the time to take off the cotton mask and reveal my face, my heart was beating so strong in my chest that I couldn't breathe. Alpha Zeus was trying to calm me down. He wasn't so worried, maybe because he really didn't care much about my look. But I did. I wanted to be more pretty now than ever. To deserve him, to make him so proud of having someone like me. The doctor said, "Now take a look." I blew a long, deep breath and stood up in front of the mirror. I screamed, "Oh my God, who is that beautiful woman? It can't be me." It's illusions, right? Alpha Zeus's eyes welled with tears and hugged me. It's your baby girl, you. Congratulations, but now I will hide your face from everyone. I blinked and pouted. Why? He cupped my cheeks, pecking my lips' soft kiss. Because. He paused, then kissed me another one. He paused and kissed another one. I will be so damn jealous if. He pulled me into the too long, passionate kiss, then sighed. If anyone glared at you or even praised your beauty, I hate the fact that you became so pretty. It scares me. I inhaled and exhaled deeply, then hugged him tightly. I did that for you, I swear. This time I did it for you. Only you. I'm yours, Zeus. Rosy. After being beautiful, now was the time to wear my best dress ever and get ready for the gathering. I was excited to see everyone and how they will wonder who am I and how I met Alpha Zeus, and to surprise my father as well. I knew that he would be there. I sent him a letter days ago to tell him that I'm living with my mate and his son, but I didn't tell him who was my mate. But I told him that I would come back very soon. Hand in hand and next to each other, we stepped out of the limo, royally and confidently walked as if we owned the world side by side. Beta and Gamma and Delta and all the other men followed us. Once we stepped inside that Alpha King castle, and all the eyes turned into us. They didn't think that Alpha Zeus will attend. Well, I covered my face with a veil. I wanted to uncover that when I meet my father. We walked, and I whispered to his ear, "My father is there." And of course, my father rushed to me and pulled me into a bear hug. He smelt my body scent. He could find me among billions. The tears welled in my eyes, but I suppressed myself. I wanted to be stronger and to show all of them that old Rosy died, and now the new me. "I missed you, father," I sobbed. "I missed you a lot, Rosy. Why didn't you tell me that your mate is the Alpha Zeus?" he asked, but was worried. Alpha Zeus surprised him by bowing his head slightly in respect to my father. "Father-in-law, I'm so honored to meet you finally." My father shockingly widened his eyes. "Your Highness, you shouldn't bow. I should kneel down your—" Zeus sternly said to my father, "Since you are my father-in-law, you'll be treated royally. So I'm asking you to move to my pack and my castle. Your grade will be like your daughter, above me." I smiled, glaring at Zeus, who really made me something. And I was sure my father was so happy for me. My father hugged Zeus. "Thank you for taking care of my daughter. You are an angel." And we were interpreted by Alpha Kane, who said, mocking, "So you got mated to the ugly girl? God, I threw her like trash. I feel pity for you for—" And it was the time to reveal my face. I took the veil away and threw it away. Alpha Kane and all the alphas dropped their jaws, glaring at me. Alpha Kane's look was so precious, he stuttered, "Oh my goddess, Rosy!" I was only smirking, gazing at him with dagger and victory. I wrapped my hand over Alpha Zeus's neck and said, "So, my king, don't you think that we should invite Alpha Kane to our mating ceremony next week?" Alpha Kane. I couldn't believe what I was in-ing. She was there standing in front of me. She was so beautiful and exactly like angels. Even so, she was next to Alpha Zeus, the one who claimed that she was his mate. What the fuck? She was mine and I was her mate. Even so, that I did break the mating bond. And even so, she wasn't a real mate to me, but I want her. Why should I leave her? She was mine. And now I want her back, and I will do anything to bring her back to my arms and my life. She used to be the most freaking ugly she-wolf ever in our pack, and now she became the most beautiful she-wolf ever in history. Not just in our pack. My eyelids widened when she burst out of waves of laughter, making fun of me and asking Alpha Zeus to invite me to their mating ceremony next week. I was dumbfounded. That fast! I should make a move towards her now, or I will lose her forever. I can't deny that I have been already missing her in bed, and how obeying and very submitting and sexy as well in bed with them. Even so, I know she hated how rough and tough I was with her. But I can change myself now for that beauty. Definitely, there's no need even to fuck her. All I need to glare at those big, gorgeous eyes of her and her adorable face all the time, and I will be on the top of the world. My heart painfully hurt when she kept her arms wrapped around Alpha Zeus's neck, as if I was stabbed by a knife. My lungs were empty of air, as if there was no oxygen at all around me. For the first time in my life, I regret making that decision to break the mating bond. And moreover, I did that in a very bad way, awfully and boldly. I didn't look back at her when she lost our baby. Where was my mind back then? I wonder. I tried to form a word, but my tongue was tangled and lost in a big maze. Finally, I blew a deep breath away and said, faking a smile, "Well, I will attend for sure. I will be the first one to congratulate both of you." And I turned my heels away to the buffet. I grabbed a bottle of tequila and started drinking all of it at once in one gulp. I wanted to erase our memories together that started to arouse from nowhere as a long movie in my head. I slammed the bottle from my hand and growled in anger. But my evil mind gave me a strong idea. If I can't take her hook, then I will do that by crook. I will trap her. I snapped my fingers to my beta. Oh yes, now I do have a new beta. But my father kept him. Which was Rosy father. I hated him already back then. "Beta, I want you to put some drugs in Rosy glass of wine. Make sure she will drink it all. Then after a few seconds, tell her that my father wants to meet her in the garden. Make sure that no one is watching you, especially Alpha Zeus. Got that?" I instructed my beta, who loyally bowed and nodded. "Sure, Your Highness." I kept my eyes on her until my beta made his move. She rejected the glass at first. I know why. She didn't like alcohol, but she accepted it finally. After a few minutes, and when Alpha Zeus was busy talking with others, my beta reached her and she followed him. I could see that she hesitated, but I followed them slowly, making sure no one noticed me. until I was face to face in front of her. Rosy, you. Is that a trap? Listen to me. I don't know what do you want from me, but sure I don't want you anymore. So please stay away from me, she said bravely, looking deeply into my eyes. No fears, no trembles, and I was the one who was sacred at that moment. I dragged her to the back cottage and pushed her inside. I love you, Rosy. I miss you. I want you back. Please give me a chance. There's still more time to. I was trying to say in a seductive tone, touching her and pinning her to the wall, but she pushed me and slapped my face with all of her strength. And that's when Alpha Zeus barged into the cottage and busted us. Alpha Zeus. I was sure when my eyes met Alpha Kane that he will do his best to take Rosy back. His eyes said a lot when he has seen how beautiful she was by then. I wasn't an idiot, though. I decided to leave her alone for some time. But my eyes and my ears were on here all the time. Step by step and move by move, even her reactions. When I saw Alpha Kane Beta handing her the wine glass, I was assured that my instinct about Kane's intentions was right. In a few minutes, the Beta reached her again. Surprisingly, she tried to mind link with me. But I didn't reply back. I wanted to see what she will do next. And I didn't want to let her know that she was able to mind link with me now. But I sneaked like a lion between the bushes slowly and calmly to find out why he was dragging her and what she will do as a reaction. Yes, I wasn't sure yet if she was going to melt between his touches and under his sweet words or not. I wasn't putting my full trust in her. I admit that I was so bad to be like that. Escape Alley, she didn't do anything to make me feel like that. But there's always a but when it comes to love. Jealous hurt, jealousy control, and possess us, and I was head over heels in love with her. Not only because we were supposed to be mates, but every inch of me craved her. I always dreamed of a sweet and kind and honest girl like her. But since she became like a moon goddess, pretty as hellfire, and I wasn't sure anymore that I could be sane and calm, I wanted to hide her from all the eyes, even from the maids. I wanted to keep her in our room forever. I know it's too much, but what should I do to calm the blood that was boiling under my skin, as if eating me slowly? I was dying. A deadly feeling was killing me because of my love for her. My wolf and my brain were scared as well as me. Does she love me more than Alpha Kane? Is she in love with him? Did she enjoy sleeping between his arms more than she felt with me? A lot of fucking insane questions I definitely struggled to find an answer to. Until I saw them, he dragged her and pinned her against the wall. I rounded my fist angrily, waiting, which was hard, until I saw her kicking him in his balls and slapping his face. He didn't take it as rejection, though. He kept his attempts to seduce her and pushed her to the bed, trying to kiss her. I barged in when she spat on his face. I was too proud of her, but she was guilty. I know it was a trap, but it was her mistake too. Her beauty became a curse, and it will tear us apart. I was comfortable with her old face because no one, not even Alpha Kane, will try to take her from me. But now I hate how she looks. Yes, and I want her face back by way or another. Or I will have to lock her in the room forever. Alpha Kane adjusted his body and stood up on his feet when I growled, "What the fuck are you doing with my Luna, Kane?" My voice was full of rage, hatred, and I swear if it would have brought me war. Then I was ready. Rosy hopped off the bed immediately. She looked so dizzy, she trembled. I didn't do anything. It was a trap. I tried to mind link with you, but I know she mind linked with me, helped me several times. I shot her with deadly gazes, her eyes welled with tears. She tried to move close to me slowly, but Alpha Kane pulled her to his side. "Come on, Zeus. She used to be my mate, and I want her back. As compensation, I will gladly make peace with you and give you anything you want," he offered with a smirk. I stared at his grip that was on her wrist. She tried to release her hands and stuttered. "I don't want you, Kane. I hate you. I do love Zeus," she was breathlessly saying. I noticed that she was dizzy, and sure that was not from drinking one glass. Yes, she was a light drinker, but not to that degree. Something was wrong. I stomped, gritting on my teeth. That's when Kane left her hand and stepped back, suggesting, "Let's just give her a fair chance to choose between us. Let her stay with me for 1 month and then decide which one of us she will choose." I snapped to his words and pushed his chest aggressively till he fell on the ground, and I pointed to him by my finger. Try to come closer to her, and I will rip off your body and I will make sure that your neck is in my fridge. I grabbed her hand roughly and walked in huge paces, yelling and calling my men and my beta. Let's go now. They followed me to the limo. I pushed her inside. She lowered her gaze to her lap, apologizing for 100 times. I didn't give her a reply or even a second glance until we reached my castle. I dragged her to our room and locked the door. She walked away from me scared, fiddling with her fingers nervously. I groaned. You are not leaving this room until further notice. Got that? I hollered, and she started to throw up heavily. She mumbled in stutter tone, I swear, I didn't do anything wrong. And she stumbled and lost her conscience. I lifted her up and placed her to the bed. Baby girl, I'm sorry. Come back to me, please. I pleaded in concern. Then I checked her forehead. She had a fever. She opened her eyes and heavily used her tongue to say a few words. I love you, Zeus. Fucking damn it. He drugged her. Alpha Zeus. I lost my mind. I watched her and sat next to her until she came back to her senses and she was fine. Then I said bluntly, you should be punished for what you have done. You've hurt my feelings. She adjusted her body in bed. I love you. Please forgive me. I didn't think that. I cut off her with ignorance. I don't want to hear anything. You are not leaving the castle anymore. Make sure to hide your pretty face inside the castle. I don't want anyone to see your face. I commanded her. She widened her eyes and stood up on her feet. I stared away from her. She tried to soften my heart by placing her soft, delicate hand to my chest. Zeus, I know that you are angry, but you are taking my freedom from me just like what Kane has done. Be aware that you will kill me that way, she remarked. But deep inside me, I was mumbling to things, sorry, Rosy, but I can't. I want you to be mine forever. I sighed and left the room. I walked back and forth in my office, even Seven when he came smiling. Daddy, please play with me. I yelled back at him, get out. I'm not in the mood. And it was the first time for me to yell at my son. He cried heavily, and the one who calmed him was Rosy. She didn't obey my order, and she didn't cover her face. She said to me, what are you doing, Zeus? You scared him. Don't put your anger on the baby. All I was hearing or could see at that moment was her beautiful face. I couldn't take it anymore. I slammed the desk with both my hands and gritted my teeth, walking towards both of them. She hid Seven to her back instantly. She wanted to take all the rage instead of my own son. How beautiful and pure she was, that's why I want her, and I will never let her go ever. Go away, Seven, she said sternly to him. But, Mommy, I said go back to your room now. She hurriedly and firmly commanded him, then she locked the door. Stop. Don't do something you will regret it. She placed both her hands on my chest. I smirked. So why do you want to take over all my anger alone? Then come here then. I pulled her hand and pushed her to the couch and slapped her face once. She whined in pain. Zeus, what are you doing? It's me, Rosy. I nodded, inhaling and exhaling deeply, half shifted in my wolf shape. I know who you are, and I have told you to cover your pretty face. I hated it. I want your ugly face back. I want my Rosy back. And I started slapping her face and pressing my nails, making scars all over her face. She didn't push me back. She was crying, looking deeply into my heart. It killed me to give her pain. But I was dying thinking that she will leave me at any point. I couldn't stop myself. I was in need of someone to pull me away, but not Alpha Kane. It was the strongest slap I have ever taken in my life. Not a real slap, but a strong shock that made me regret what I have done. I was possessive and selfish. I didn't think what she will feel if I ruined her dream to be normal, to live happily. Alpha Kane barged into the office. Obviously, he decided to follow us. He didn't give up on her. He pulled me off her and screamed, shouting, "What the hell have you done to her?" He pulled her to his chest. She was bleeding all over her face. She was shivering and throwing me with blaming looks. I wanted to apologize and beg her to forgive me, but she said sternly, "Don't come closer. Don't. I'm leaving you." The grin over Kane's face said a lot. He said to her, "Go to the limo. My men will protect you." "Thank God it's just scratched and I had come in the right time," he said to her while checking her cheeks. She dashed off. Kane blocked my path. "Dude, think wisely. She hates you now. And if you follow us, I will make sure to start a deadly, bloody war and all the other alphas will help me. Don't forget that she's not officially your mate yet." I don't care if you have fucked her or not, but she's mine now. Stay away from her, Zeus. I'm warning you." His words didn't mean anything to me. I wasn't afraid to go into a war and die for her. I was guilty. I did exactly to her as Kane did in the past. I should be her savior, her protector. I was her real mate. But I made a mistake that I will regret it for the whole of my life. All I was scared of, and that made me leave her to go, was I couldn't see her broken, blaming eyes looking at me. I couldn't face her. I smashed the whole castle. I grabbed a glass and started cutting off my whole face. Yes, it will be healed in a few hours, but I felt the pain and aches. I wanted to punish myself by my own hands for what I have done. I did it every 3 hours for 3 days. I couldn't eat or sleep or talk, until my beta barged into my room and Seven followed him. "Your Highness, Seven wants to say something." My eyes softened when Seven hugged me tightly and said, "Mommy loves you. Go and bring her back." I raised my head to my beta, who mourned by his fingers out of the door to my warriors. "We are ready, Your Highness. If it is a war, then all of the pack is ready to fight till death. We want our Luna back." I patted over his shoulder. "Then, let's go and bring her back. If I die for her, I don't mind. I deserve that." Rosy. I didn't know how Zeus could do that to me. I was sure that he was hiding something deep inside. But I wasn't so sure what it was, as much as I was shocked, and it breaks my emotions. As much as I was happy, but I hid it. I realized how much Zeus loved me, crazily in love with me, to the degree that he would do anything to keep me with him. But I wasn't sure yet of Kane's feelings. So I decided to stay in my old pack and in Kane Castle until I would find what will happen and what I should do and whom I should pick. Kane was so sweet and nice. I even thought that he was someone else. Seriously. Pampering me and saying how much he loves me and that he regrets losing me. Taking care of me, being around me all the time. Reading for me, showering me with gifts. Very expensive gifts, actually. He even started talking about having children, and that we should tie the knot of our mating bond again. 3 days have passed already, and every day Kane was taking me out around the whole pack, but something was nasty and fishy about that. His grin was wide, as if he was trying to show how beautiful I was. I remember when I was ugly, and he kept covering my face and didn't allow me to be with him out, when he left me at the castle and took his girlfriend instead. I was wondering what happened to her. I didn't see her around. I tried to make my own investigation, and his father helped me. I knocked at his room that day. He wasn't okay, ill, so I wanted to check on him. "Your Highness, I'm Rosy." I wanted to tell him because he didn't see me with my pretty face. He smiled widely and pulled into fatherly hug. "I know who you." I blinked, surprised. "Really? How?" "Your eyes and your voice. I didn't look at your old face before, because I always looked inside you. Welcome home. But I don't want you to stay here." He sighed deeply in frustration. I stared at him. He whispered to my ear, "My son left his Luna on the same day because he found out that you became so pretty more than her. Take care." And his honest words was the sign I needed to go further and test Kane. I smiled and kissed his cheeks. "Thank you so much. Please get well soon." And I left his room with my plan fully ready to begin with. I wanted to do that tomorrow, but when I reached the garden, I found Alpha Zeus there. "Zeus, what are you doing here?" I asked, confused, drawing a grimacing face, but my heart was pounding in my chest in happiness because he came back for me. Kane groaned. "Stay away, Zeus, or I will start a fucking war with you." Kane threatened Zeus directly. Zeus raised his brow and said confidently in a graving tone, "I'm ready for the war then, but I'm not leaving here without Rosy." Zeus rushed towards me. Then he knelt down and begged me sincerely, "Please forgive me. Please do anything else but don't leave me. Please, I can't live without you. I admit that I was stupid and possessive and selfish, but I swear I was scared that you might leave me. I was like a baby more attached to you, and it kills me to think that you will be with another alpha. Please come back to me." He was truly honest, and I was sure that I do forgive him. My mate, and I do love him. But it was the time for the real test. I had to give my ex-mate a chance. I walked calmly to the table in the middle and grabbed a bottle, then smashed it. Both Kane and Zeus were gazing at me confused. Then I started to cut off all my face with the glass. To them, I won't be able to heal. So that means I will be ugly forever. Kane rushed to me. No. His screams echoed in the whole castle. I smirked to Kane. So, do you accept me now? Kane as ugly as I will be. Kane gulped nervously, then threw me with disgusted looks. Could you just make surgeries to fix your face and come back as pretty as you used to be? He asked, turning his eyes away. I smirked and shrugged. No, the doctor said I couldn't do any more surgeries. So I'll live ugly. Do you want me or no? I stressed on every word that came out of my mouth. Kane shook his head. No. Of course, I can't stay with you like that. I broke the mating bond before because of your ugly face. I nodded and grinned. Thank you for telling me the truth and losing the test. Kane huffed. What do you mean? I ignored him and walked past him. Nothing. I'm leaving now. Zeus blurted out immediately. I will accept you. Ugly or pretty, I want you back. Please give me a second chance. I nodded and helped Zeus to stand up on his feet. Good. On one condition. I raised an eyebrow. Zeus widened his eyes, paying attention to my words. Anything. I want the mating ceremony to be tonight. Could you do that? Once I said that, he pulled me into a tight hug and sobbed. Thank you, Rosy. Yes, we can do that now. Let's go. He lifted me between his arms, chuckling from happiness. His eyes were saying a lot, were saying how honest and how he was in love with me. And me too. But I lied about one tiny thing. In a rush and on our way in the limo, while Zeus was kissing my hand all the time for a couple of hours. His beta mind-linked with everyone in the pack, announcing the mating ceremony. Once we reached the castle, everything was ready. My face was badly bruised and scars everywhere. I was so confident and I didn't hide it. We get mated officially in our clothes. We didn't change. Because I didn't want to waste more time, or my tiny lie will be exposed. After we have finished and everyone congratulated us, I dragged Zeus to our room. Let's go and get mated now, please. I pouted. He was confused, but once we reached our room, I said, lock the door and take off your clothes now, Zeus. He flushed. What, are you going to spank me or what? He teased. I bit my lips and slowly I took off my dress. No, I want you to make love with me. I want to have kids with you, mate. And yes, we did it for too long. Real lovemaking. The taste and the feeling of how our bodies craved for each other were amazing. We fell asleep cuddling each other until I woke up on Zeus' gasps. What? What happened? Without even looking to my face, I blurted out, giggling slightly. After finding my real mate and getting mated, I became able to heal fast. He blinked and asked me in curiosity, so did you know that yesterday? Then why did you lie to Kane? I shrugged. First, because I was sure he didn't love me. So I was testing him. Second, I already wanted to reject him. I loved you and I wanted you back. I said simply and stood up on my own feet, wearing my clothes, but Zeus pulled me back to his chest on bed and kissed me passionately. So, I'm mated to a pretty and a smart Luna? I nodded proudly, joking. Sure, take care or I will test you too. He pressed his tongue to my neck, playfully making me moan. I do love you so much, I will never leave you. Sorry about hurting you. I do forgive you, I love you too, Zeus. Rosy, after 9 months, I was screaming, oh my God, take the baby out of me, Zeus. Zeus widened his eyes and commanded the doctors, take the baby out of her. I pulled Zeus's hand and bit it from the pain while giving birth to my baby. I hate you, Zeus, for making me suffer. I yelled. He squealed, ouch! I'm sorry, I won't do that again. And an hour, finally they came. Yes, there were 2. I gave birth to twins. Congratulations, twins. The doctors announced cheerfully. I kissed both of them, and then, exhausted from the delivery, I fell asleep. We named the girl Bella and the boy Knight. We lived very happily for the next 3 months after birth. Even so, I didn't get much time to sleep because of the crying babies, but I was so glad that our family was completed. We kept doing this daily. 7 was playing with the kids that day even when we were eating our dinner. 7 commented, Mommy, you eat a lot. I'm so scared that you might eat the babies, he commented, and I shoved a punch of rice into my mouth. I'm so hungry. If you didn't let me eat, I would eat all of the pack. I joked. Zeus stared at me confused. Rosy, honey, slow down. You're really eating a lot. And suddenly, on a regular checkup for the babies, the doctor arrived and stared at me. Your Highness, I need to check on you. I huffed and left the fork, then followed him to the room. After the checking, he walked out of the room and I followed him, eating again. I didn't even ask him if I was fine or not. Zeus, in concern, asked the doctor, "So?" The doctor shrugged his shoulder. "So, another twin will be arriving in 6 months." I choked on my breath and gasped, "What? Not again! Zeus, I hate you." "But I do love you," Zeus said, chuckling. I made a puppy face. "I love you too, Zeus, but my stomach will pop up again and I will suffer from pregnancy symptoms and my body suddenly was on heat. I felt wet in between my legs. I stood up and said in a serious tone, "Zeus, follow me to our room now." He widened his eyes. "Huh? Why?" I squealed, "Zeus!" Prologue, A War for Love. Alpha Kane. I wanted to get Rosy back. I wanted to do something. I wasn't sure why, maybe because I hated to be a loser. Maybe I missed her. But I was sure I wanted to do this because my men later told me that her face was healed and she came back to her beautiful shape. That definitely made me feel angry. She was the most beautiful she-wolf ever. So, if I will go into a cold war to win her, then I was ready. I asked my men to send a message to Alpha Zeus to choose between two things, to give me back Rosy or to start a war with my pack. And the message was a war. Sure, he would be insane to lose her. I knew that he would reply, then war. That's why I prepared for everything previously and asked all the warriors in my pack to practice and get ready to be steady to attack. And it was the night I should attack the rogue's pack. As if Alpha Zeus felt I was going to appear that night, his men surrounded us. We were kind of trapped in the middle. We all shifted and started beating up each other. But suddenly Rosy appeared, yelling at all of us in her human shape. "Stop, all of you, now!" I motioned to my men and commanded them, "Stop, all of you, now." Yes, I was worried that they might hurt her by mistake. Alpha Zeus did the same with his men, but he pulled Rosy to his side. "What are you doing here, Rosy? It's dangerous." Rosy sighed and walked in the middle. "I won't let anyone kill you. You are the father of my babies and before she could continue, I felt a small, soft hand on my back nudging me. I trembled, almost shivered under the touch. The scent of that female that I didn't even see her face yet made me dizzy. I sniffed and turned my head to see, not the most beautiful creature, but the cutest smile I have ever seen in my life. She placed her hand on my heart and smiled again, shyly. I stuttered in a low voice, almost sweet, "What's your name?" Her smile turned to grimace, and she lowered her gaze to the ground, then passed me to stand next to Alpha Zeus, who yelled at me, "Stay away from Lily." I stepped closer, awkwardly. "Lily? Wow!" I commented, amused. My eyes didn't leave her eyes for a second. Rosy chuckled. "Oh, I guess Alpha Kane found his." I cut off Rosy words and proudly, without hesitation, I announced Lily. "Mate. Lily is my mate." Alpha Zeus snorted. "No way, stay away from her. She is our little princess and my little sister." It was a shock, because I had to deal with Zeus and ask for his forgiveness, or he will take my real mate from me. I thought I was mateless for 28 years of my life, until that moment. "Lily, do you accept me as your mate? Please, I will be so good to you," I said, gently stepping closer. Alpha Zeus sighed in a broken tone. "She's... Lily, why you are not talking to me?" I repeated my questions. She was only staring at me. Zeus hollered at me. "She's silent. She's a mute idiot. She can't talk." "What?" Alpha Kane. "So no war anymore." Yes, and my attitude turned upside down. I became like a dog trailing Lily, drooling. Zeus frowned. "Kane, stop now. I will never trust you. What if it was one of your games to take your revenge through my baby sister?" Damn it, he was right. But I swear I have no intention to hurt her. I surprisingly stood in front of Zeus and knelt down. "Please, I'm begging you. She's my mate and I want her. I'm too honest this time." Rosy rolled her eyes, dumbfounded by my behavior. "Well, Zeus, I guess you should believe him. I think he is telling the truth." Zeus huffed and held his hand up to me. "Okay, stand up. I don't like to see an alpha kneeling because of love." I stood up on my feet and shake hands with him. "So, Alpha Zeus, no grudge now?" Zeus rubbed his chin, then smiled. "No grudge, but she's mute and I don't care. But I want to ask her if she accepts me or not. How could I do this? And I want to know everything about her? I mean, why she can't talk. Is that from her birth date, or... I really was so interested to know her better and know all her past life. Yes, I do accept her. Actually, I was scared that she might be the one who will refuse me." Zeus gestured to me. "Okay, follow me to the castle. We need to drink something and talk." I followed him, and they warmly welcomed me. I admit, even so, he was the king of rogues, but he was such a respectful person. Yes, more than me by 1,000 times. We sat, and my eyes were searching for Lily. She was gone. As if she has never existed. Where's she? I asked Zeus. Rosy handed me a glass of wine and then excused us. I was on my chair, almost twirling my head right and left in frustration. Where's Lily? Please don't do that to me. I really want her. She's 17 years old, Zeus said his words, and it was like a bomb crashed to my skull. I widened my eyes and almost dropped my jaw. What? She's only 17 years old? Younger than me by 11 years? Have you changed your mind now? Zeus asked me in curiosity. I shook my head and gulped the wine. No, I'm just worried. What if she rejected me because of the age gap, and it means I can't be mated to her until she turns into 18? Damn it, I will wait for a whole year to claim my mate? I mean, I can do that for my real mate, but it's too much to be loyal and not to touch a woman for a year? I came back to my senses when I felt a small soft hand on my shoulder. I inhaled her perfect hypothesizing scent. Oh my God, I can wait a year for you, Lily, but please say that you accept me as your mate, I said in a whisper tone. I opened my eyes to see her smiling and nodded shyly. I hopped off the chair immediately and screamed cheerfully. Oh my God, you nodded. It means you do accept me? She didn't do anything. I turned my head to Zeus. She can't hear me? Zeus chuckled. She can hear you, don't worry, but I need to tell you the full story first. Zeus said sternly to Lily, Go to the garden and play with the kids now, Lily. She nodded politely and glanced back to me, then walked in a hurry out. Zeus said in a serious tone, She wasn't born mute. My father a year ago arranged a marriage to Lily, to one of the strongest Alpha's sons. It was just engagement party before his death. So that's what happened. She stood there in front of everyone silent, until she started screaming and fainting. And since then, she didn't talk or even smile. She's actually only smiling with the babies only. I blinked and asked immediately, so it was like disapproval to her mate. Zeus assured me, yes, I guess she wanted to wait for her real mate. So dare to play with her heart, and I will kill you. And rip your head off your body. Are you kidding? I want her. But to wait for 1 year, it's kind of hard on me, but I will do my best. Can I have a talk with her now? I asked Zeus respectfully, who spaced out for a while, then motioned to me to go to the garden and have a talk. A silent talk. I sneaked slowly and stayed far away, watching her moves and how she was playing with the kids and laughing, tickling them. She looked so cute until I heard whisperers. I was sure it wasn't an illusion. That girl is not silent. Yes, Lily whispered something to the babies. Or maybe I could hear her mind because she was my mate? Should I mark her now? Being womanizer and disrespectful gave me a hard time to think of how I should treat my real mate. Especially she suffered back then. Yes, I do care now. I know I didn't give a shit about Rosy, but I know now that I wasn't selfish. I just didn't love her because she wasn't meant to be mine. I walked slowly to her and used my instinct and my heart. I bent down and glared at her. I know that you can talk, Lily. She blinked and suddenly placed her finger to my mouth. Shush? Huh? You really can talk? Should I mark you now then? I said excited, but suddenly I felt her hand on my face. Yes, she slapped my face. She stood up and threw me with disgusting looks. What? I thought you accept me as your mate. I rubbed my cheek, staring at her confused. She crossed her arms over her chest and remained silent. I shook my head, depressed. I'm not crazy. I heard you. My voice was kind of high. She shushed me again. Stop, or they will take me from you, idiot. I narrowed my eyes, and she searched by her eyes around. No one will take you from me. Ever. Just tell me the truth. She sighed deeply and stood on her tiptoes to reach my ears, then said in a soft tone, He still wants me as his mate, so shut up. I have been waiting for my real mate to appear for a year now. I felt my heart flutter in my chest. Does that mean she was waiting for me? I pulled her hand to my chest and glared deeply into her eyes. So, do you accept me? She swung her head, then teased me, a little. I widened my eyes. What do you mean? She smirked with a devilish grin. You didn't wait for me, and you mated to another, and slept with a lot of girls, so you need to prove to me that you deserve me. But, she raised her brow, he will come back to take me, so I had to be silent now, until further notice. She turned her heels, and I grabbed her hand to stop her. Who is he? He is the Alpha King of all the Alphas now. Her eyes welled with tears, and I almost felt like stabbed in my heart. Fuck, damn it. That will be an impossible war. How I could win her. Alpha Kane. So it was time for me to go, but my feet didn't help me to move a budge. I was too concerned. What if I left, and the Alpha King of all the Alpha decided to claim Lily as his mate while I was away? I know Zeus wasn't a weak alpha. Actually, he was the right one to be Alpha King among all of us and rule the whole kingdoms. But he didn't accept that. Zeus, especially after he had met Rosy, became much stronger and fearless, but he also wanted to live peacefully with his Luna and his kids. I have never envied anyone before until I saw that Rosy and Zeus were gifted by the gods with 4 kids. I felt like I have lost 3 years of my life on nothing. I know now that it was meant to be like that to meet Lily. Everything was fate, and our destiny was to make our paths collide now. 3 years ago, Lily was just 14 years old. Gosh, she's so young compared to me. And as the princess and the younger sister, so she was pampered for sure. And I was Dom, rough and tough and rude, arrogant, womanizer, and dickhead-ass alpha. Lily looked so cute. Her voice, which I was lucky to hear, was like birds chirp sweet and gentle. Her eyes gorgeous like an ocean. I could drown glaring at them. Her touch was making me on heat. I just want her to be mine. But now I had to go into 2 wars. One with my heart to keep Lily with me. She knows my past, and she wants me to prove how much I could change myself to have her. And the other war was with the king of all alphas. Damn it. I raised my head, staring at the ceiling, thinking I was actually lost. Zeus coughed to make me come back to my senses. Hey, what are you thinking about? You look puzzled with something heavy. I nodded and blew a long breath away. Yes, I turned my head and stared at him. Then I placed both my hands on his shoulders. What should I do? She wants me to be good to accept me. And there's the Alpha King of Alphas wants her, and I paused when Zeus' eyes widened. How did you know all this information? Damn it, I forgot that Lily couldn't talk. Now Zeus might discover the truth thanks to my stupidity and my slippery tongue. I covered my words immediately. I can mind link with her. She's my mate, remember? Rosy interpreted. Oh, but she is still 17, so she shouldn't be able to mind link with you. Actually, it's very strange that she figured out that you are her mate before turning into 18. And yes, I guess it was true, and how I missed something like that. But I'm sure she's my mate. But how did she know? Means what? She loved me from the first sight? I shrugged my shoulders with a smile. I guess it's fate. Now please tell me, what should I do? Rosy diverted her words. Just calm down. Join us to the breakfast. Lily will cook. Zeus dropped his jaw. What? Why do they both look shocked, as if it was her first time to step inside a kitchen? Well, it was good for me to stay for a long time after all. I needed more time to know what I should do, say goodbye for now, and come back after 1 year? Or mark her now? Or stress on Zeus to let me get mated to Lily now? I joined them at the dining table, waiting for our plated to be served. Maids did that, and Lily stepped closer with a wide smile, gesturing to us to start eating. She stood next to Zeus and didn't sit. Once I shoved a slice of boiled egg into my mouth, I swear I felt like I should spat it immediately, but knowing that Lily was keeping her eyes on me, I couldn't. Yes, where are the rude me? Gone. Love is a miracle. I swallowed forcefully and smiled. It's an amazing Lily. Thank you. Zeus and Rosy commented and frowned. What is that Lily? It tastes like cow shit. Lily grimaced in frustration with her puppy eyes. I shoved more in my mouth in a hurry. See, Lily, it's good. Forget about them. I like your cooking. She bowed her head slightly, thanking me. God, I lied. I couldn't see her crying or depressed or heartily broken. But damn it, I will never let her cook ever again after mating to her. Ever. This is a disaster meal. Rosy used to cook very tasty, delicious meals, but I used to insult her. And here I'm eating rubbish and saying how good it is. Power of love and mating and fate. How weird and how fast could a person change himself and his attitude and habits for love? Lily beckoned her fingers to me and mouthed mutely, "Clean the dishes." I blinked shockingly. What? Do you want me to clean? Zeus stood up and switched his head between Lily and me. Lily asked you to clean the dishes? I neglected him and stared at Lily. She motioned by her fingers to the plates and smirked. I grabbed it and followed her to the kitchen. I pulled her closer and whispered to her ear, "Lily, that's rude. I'm Alpha. I can't do this." She crossed her arms over her chest and whispered back once she saw no one in our sight. "Then don't. See, you can't even help me, so how do you expect me to accept you?" "I just can't. There are maids can do this." I stressed my words. Until I heard a sharp, familiar voice saying, "I can clean these dishes for you, Lily." Damn it, he's here. Alpha Kane. Okay, that was dangerous. Carlos arrived. Oh yeah, the Alpha King of all the Alphas, and guess what? He is so handsome and younger than me. Yes, he is 21 years old. Charming, and there's no age gap between him and Lily. I felt drums in my heart, more like kicking my chest, jealousy and frustration. I took off my jacket immediately. "No thank you, Carlos. I will do it. I can clean the dishes." But because I didn't used to do this stuff, and because I was angry and my body stiffened from jealousy that I tried to hide, a dish fell from my hands and shattered into million pieces. Carlos laughed. "I told you, you are an old man. Get out, I will help her." He stood closer and tried to push me aside, but I didn't move an inch. I shot him with deadly gazes that only him, and I know what our eyes were saying to each other. We both realized that we were busy with ourselves and forget about Lily. We turned our eyes to the floor immediately when we heard her whining. I bent down and pulled her hand. "Oh my God, you hurt yourself. You are bleeding." Carlos bent down and pulled her hand from me, trying to wipe the blood, but I pulled her hand immediately and licked all her fingers and the blood by my tongue. Carlos and Lily stared at me, shocked and confused. Hello, I was shocked by myself more than them. I ignored Carlos's eyes, then I lifted her up between my wide arms. One thing he can't put himself into comparison to me was my muscles and my body. I was wider and taller and stronger. I was a man, but he was a teenager. His father handed him the throne, but he didn't deserve it. So, if we got into the battlefield, I will be the winner. Lily wrapped her arms around my neck, and I was frozen by Carlos's stern words. "So, we are rivals now." I didn't even glance back to him. I said calmly but sharply while climbing the stairs to put Lily in her bed and check back on her injured hand. "She's my mate, so we are not rivals. But if you want us to be rivals, then it's up to you." I chuckled lightly with a scoff. I walked upstairs and then stood and whispered to Lily, "So, where's your room?" She bit her lips shyly as if she didn't want to let me see her room. I narrowed my eyes with an awkward but a satisfied smile. "Okay, we can go to another room for now. I'm not going to eat a piece of yai, I swear." She nodded and motioned Omi to the end of the corridor. I opened the door to find myself in a very girly room, pink and yellow everywhere. I almost fell on the floor from laughing. "God, you are so cute. I feel like I'm in the middle of the baby room." I placed her gently on the couch, then I walked back to close the door. I wanted to have a free space to hear her voice and talk with her. I bent down to the floor and grabbed her hand. "You almost healed now." She nodded shyly. I asked her, "So I need an answer, and be honest. Why did you trust me and told me that you are not mute? I mean, you could have pretended and—" She wrapped her arms around my neck all of a sudden, which made me lose the ability to continue in my questions. She whispered seductively, "There's a small party tonight. Could you stay and dance with me?" I blinked. Huh? I need to go. I wanted to say I should go back to the pack, but she pouted, and I just couldn't let her down, especially we were interrupted by Carlos, who barged into the room without excuse with a royal pink dress in his hand. He leaned closer to Lily. She, of course, trembled and pulled her hand to her side. Then Carlos handed Lily the pink dress. "This is for you for the party tonight." She nodded politely and accepted his gift. I furrowed my brows and wanted to rip off that dress into pieces, but I couldn't do that. It was a shame attitude and can't become out of alpha like me. Carlos knocked on the floor by his shoes and rudely said to me, "So, rival, you need to get up and go back now to your pack, I guess." I stood up, almost covering his head by my shoulders, and smirked. "I will attend the party tonight. I guess we should now go and get ready, my rival." I winked to him. Then I pulled him out with me and waved to Lily. Zeus offered me a room and offered Carlos another room. We were next to each other. I kept my eyes on him. Yes, I was sneaking almost every 10 minutes out of the room to check if he crossed the corridor to go to Lily or not. When the time of the party came, the maids knocked on our doors and told us. It wasn't at night, it was almost 6 p.m., more like a dinner party. That's what I thought until I figured out the truth. I walked step by step next to Carlos, who was huffing and puffing, throwing me with annoyed and rage gazes. The guards opened the ballroom to us. As Alpha King, he was higher in rank, so he stepped in front of me, and I followed him. All of the guests bowed to him, but not me. He was higher on command, but not in powers, so we were kind of equal. And guess what? Zeus was higher than us in supernatural powers. He was unique, the strongest alpha in history. Even vampires get scared when hearing Zeus's name. They all sat in kind of circles until the golden gates opened, announcing Lily arrives. I checked all the faces, and I wondered what was going on. Guess what? Everyone clapped and sang, "Happy birthday to you, Lily. Happy 18 years old." I asked in a very loud tone, 18, so you lied to me. All the eyes turned into me. I was kind of joke. She smiled and stepped closer to me, holding her hand up, but Carlos instantly snatched her hand and started dancing with her. I rounded my fist in anger, watching him wrapping his dirty hands around her waist and telling her jokes, and she was laughing. I couldn't take it anymore. I stood up and stomped towards them, then pulled her hand. "It's my time." I danced by quietly. I didn't say anything. I was mad at her, but I asked her out of the blue, "You are not virgin, right? Did you sleep with Carlos? Have you kissed him before? Do you love him and make fun of me?" Yes. I bombarded her with questions, and it was harsh, but I was dying there. That's why she said he would come back soon to claim her as his mate, but she wasn't his mate. She sighed deeply, then dragged me out of the ballroom. She didn't care about the people around us. Then she dragged me to her room, which she didn't allow me to see earlier. She opened the door slowly, then she pushed me inside and followed me. And I almost freaked out. "Fuck, damn it. Your room filled with my pictures. What are you, a stalker?" Lily. I couldn't believe my eyes. He was finally there, but for me, this time to claim me as his mate. Not for Rosy. Finally, he noticed me. I decided to tell him the truth. I didn't want to start my life with a lie. If he wanted to accept me, then I will be the happiest she-wolf ever. But if he rejected me as his mate, then I had no choice but to end my life. We were born to have only one mate. If we lost him or his, we will die, if not from sadness and sorrow, then from being loneliness. Not all werewolves are the same, but only the ones with pure bloodline, and I was one of them. In the beginning, I wanted to die that I can talk, but he heard me by coincidence. And I couldn't lie. His eyes were like a magnet, hypothesized me. I slipped the words from my tongue easily without him being suffering. My game ended at this point, but only for him. I don't know if I should tell everyone else that I can talk or not. If I was silent by my own will for this year or not. I know that he was badass alpha, but I know either that I was his mate and I was smart enough to get him on his knees. I'm not Rosy. I do not surrender. I'm not naive. Even so, my cute face gives all of them the impression that I could be easily deceived or swoon. But seriously, not me. I'm not that easygoing, easy-taken girl. I can go into wars as my elder brother Zeus to reach what I want, and definitely, namely, Alpha Kane was what I want. By hook or crook, by magic or temptation, I turn his life upside down. I will change him into a better alpha. He was staring at me and checking his pictures on the walls, dumbfounded, more scared, or lost in another meaning. He narrowed his eyes and slowly walked towards me. "So, do you want to claim me as your mate? I'm the man here. I'm the alpha, nada." He was nervous and angry. It was obvious from his tone. That's why I stood up and wrapped my arms around his neck, stroking his lips with mine softly. Then I pulled away. "So, I should say goodbye to you then?" I mumbled and lowered my gaze to the floor. He pulled my wrist and cupped my cheeks. "What do you mean, Lily? Why are you so mysterious?" I sighed. "I'm not. I just loved you a long time ago without knowing that we are mates. I dreamed of you. I collected all your pictures. I even followed you. I went to festivals to see you. I visited your pack while I was undercover to take a glimpse at you. I blew a deep, broken sigh. Then I trailed off, and his hands started to get warmer around my waist. I even went to the school of your pack to see you daily. Because He cut off me because I used to go check on the students there to pick 5 students to be warriors later after graduation. I smiled and nodded shyly. Yes, so are you mad at me? He rubbed his chin and then pulled his body away and stared through the window. I don't know, Lily. I mean, I'm sure that we are mates, and I'm sure that I want you to be mine. But I don't think this will work. I mean, the age gap is kind of big, so I think. My heart throbbed deeply as if I was going to die. My feet weakened that I couldn't stand anymore. I stepped backward away from him, stuttering. Don't say it, please. Don't reject me. I will die without my mate. He sealed his eyes. Lily, this is for your sake. You need to find a good mate. I'm not good enough, and I won't be able to change my behavior and my attitude. I'm sacrificing for you here. He was explaining his bullshit. I figured out that I was stupid. This alpha can't be tamed or tricked easily. I couldn't think of anything at that moment, so I decided to let him die instead. I dragged my feet to the door. Okay, I, Lily José, reject you, Alpha Kane, as my mate. You are free to go now, I said confidently. His eyes widened, and I could swear that his eyes welled in tears. I stormed out of my room and shouted loudly, I can talk to everyone. I can. I ran downstairs, and Zeus and Carlos hurriedly came along. Zeus hugged me. Oh my God, I missed your voice, my baby sister. He was happy. I was dying. I felt humiliated and my heart was shattered. I know that I will never forget Kane, because it wasn't normally mating. I loved him twice. My heart and my brain and my mating bond wanted him. I wanted him by my human side, and my wolf wanted his wolf. But because I was strong-headed and pushy, I didn't think of the consequences. Carlos knelt down my feet. Lily, please marry me. And a strong, sharing voice hollered, announcing unexpectedly, mate. Alpha Kane. Mate! I loudly announced with zero hesitation. She will be mine. I don't care if she just rejected me as her mate or not. I don't care if I just rejected her by my words or not. All I know that I do crave to be with her for the rest of my life. If there's an age gap between us, or if she was wanted by the king of all the alphas or not, that doesn't matter. I will fight for love, for her. Carlos hung up his mouth open. I stomped closer to Lily and pulled her hand, stressing on every word come out of my mouth. You are mine, Lily. We are mates. I don't care if you just rejected me or not. I want you to be mine, and I will fight for you. I said confidently and turned my head, giving Alpha Carlos deadly shot of hatred gazes. Carlos smirked evilly and shook his head. This is a joke, right? You can't do this if she rejected you. I strangled Carlos in a second, making him lose the ability to move or breathe. I gritted on my teeth. I will fight for her. Let's go into fair battle then. But, I scoffed. Then I trailed off, my words slowly hollering. But if you lost, you will lose your throne to me. Don't forget that whoever beat the Alpha King of all the Alphas wins the crown. So, are you ready for that? I threatened him. I knew he won't make a wrong move now, and he will rethink that. Especially that Lily wasn't his real mate. He just liked her. Zeus pulled my hand to release Carlos's neck from my grip. You two are acting childishly now. Zeus huffed, annoyed by the bad situation. A couple of days ago, I came to that pack to take Rosy with me, but now I was standing there fighting for Lily. It's so weird, but my heart won't let me do anything else. I finally found a mate to me. How could I accept turning my back to her? There's nothing else I could do. Zeus stood in the middle between Carlos and me and said, So, Carlos, as Kane just said, are you ready to go with him into a battle? If yes, then let's do it today and now. If no, then accept the fact. But before all of this, I need to ask Lily first, what she really wants. Zeus turned his head to Lily. All of us did, actually. Lily bit her lips and shyly said, I do accept Kane, but in one condition. She raised her brows to me. I nodded. Yes, sure, ask for anything. She crossed her arms over her chest. First, you should know, if you did accept my condition, I will go to your pack now. So here's my condition. I will go to college. I will continue my studies. So what's your decision, Kane? I swallowed nervously. But what if someone else tried to reach you or seduce you or... I sighed, rubbing my face. I couldn't reject her gaze, waiting for a frank reply from me. She mumbled, yes or no. I agreed, but I was annoyed, actually. Okay, you can do that. Yes, I do accept. Lil smiled happily, and suddenly she threw her body to my chest and hugged me warmly, giggling, Thank you so much, my mate. I hugged her back tightly, almost squeezing her bones between my arms. I was so freaking happy, but I didn't know what was waiting for me next. No one could know the future. I thought I'm so possessive, but I didn't know she is obsessed and will be possessive more than me. Sometimes love could be hell and burn us with love. Love could tear us apart. She pulled herself away and glared at Carlos. Carlos, let's just be friends. Carlos yelled, Friends, you are dreaming. I will kill him before mating to you. And before I could reply to Carlos, Lily raised her hand and slapped his face with all of her strength. I was flabbergasted, and actually she scared me. She warned Carlos firmly, Dare to come close, form my mate, or touch a strand of his hair, and I swear I will burn you alive. Got that? Now be friends with me or my enemy, and you will regret it. Carlos stepped backward, blinking like an idiot. Zeus and I were gazing at Lily and thunderstruck without saying any other word, watching Carlos dashing off the whole castle in a hurry without taking a glimpse back to Lily or us. Lily blew a deep breath away, then she drew a wide smile filled with pride. So, mate? Huh? I stared at her without any facial expressions. She pouted her lips seductively. Kiss me now. Huh? What the hell she was doing? I mean, she was acting like a killer? Maybe that was in her blood because she came from a rogue's royal family. Damn it, she could kill me if I did something wrong. I cursed myself for taking that risk, but I can't deny that I do want her, with my soul, my heart, and my wolf dying to have her. She stepped very close and stood on her tiptoes to be closer to my face. Then she wrapped her arms around my neck, saying, So could we make it tonight? Mating? She waved her brows up and down, teasing me. I instantly lifted her up between my arms. There's no way to wait. I'm taking you first here and now. Zeus shouted at me, making me froze in my place. I'm here for God's sake. Let us prepare a mating party for both of you first. Damn it. Calm down. Lily said with no fear in her voice to Zeus, You got mated to Rosy before the mating party. Prepare it, and we will go to our room now. We will do it, Zeus, now and here. Zeus wanted to pull her down. He growled angrily, but Rosy showed up in the right time and stopped him. Zeus, let them do it. Don't be scared. Lily will tame the beast. What? Who is the beast? Is it me? I muttered, asking in curiosity awkwardly, Who is the beast? Lily said huskily in my ear, making me melt between her warm breaths, Take me now. I'm so horny and wet. And yes, I climbed the stairs immediately, barging into her room. I slammed her to the end and locked the door behind us. Alpha Kane. I pulled her head up to look into my eyes when I kissed her, sucking her lower lips, and said with a grin, Now you are mine, baby. You belong to me. She jumped to my chest and hugged me, giggling and kissing me all over my face and my neck, childishly. I love you so much, Kane. I'm so happy. Finally, you noticed me. I was happy too. I lifted her up between my arms and walked to the shower room. Then I placed her down after I filled the bathtub with water. Then I sat with her. I poured a wine of glass to me. Before I could take a sip, she snatched the glass from my hand and gulped it all. What are you doing, Lily? I didn't allow you to drink alcohol. I shot her with angry gazes. She laughed, teasing me. You don't need to give me permission. We are equal now, mate. Don't forget that. And I don't know why I stupidly mentioned other she-wolves and Rosy, I said, huffing. No one ever dared, not even Rosy or any woman used to be in my life to break my rules. She stood up immediately, then threw the glass to the wall, smashed it into pieces, and yelled with a freaking scream that echoed in the whole palace, Don't ever mention your past and your women before me. Got that? Ever. I gazed at her, flabbergasted by her attitude. I guess being so young was the reason around her attitude. She was pushy, scared to lose me as her mate for sure. But deep inside, I felt that she was obsessed with me. I just shrugged off my evil thoughts, especially when my wolf mumbled to me, Damn it, we are mated to the crazy she-wolf. Which was yes. She looked like psychopathic and dangerous somehow. I stood up and dragged her without saying any word. Then I pushed her to the end and flipped her to my lap to be sleeping on her stomach. Then I pushed a finger into her ass. This your punishment for yelling to my face. 5 spanks. She scoffed, I don't care. I pushed 2 fingers and sternly said, Then 10 spanks. She mumbled in ignorance, I don't fucking care. I'm not scared of you. And yes, finally she was squealing and whining from pain. Honestly, I wanted to stop. It broke my heart to see the tears filling her eyes, but she needed to learn my rules. 'Twas the basics to respect the alpha and the mate. After I have finished, I wiped her tears when I pulled her to my chest. I placed a soft kiss to her forehead. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. You need to be polite. She made a poopy face, sobbing. You are too harsh to me. I thought you would pamper me, not like my father who used to. And she covered her mouth immediately. I widened my eyes. Your father did what? Tell me now. No, I don't think that he did something bad to her. Damn it. No way. I pulled her hand away from her face. Tell me now everything. She choked and coughed. Then she pulled herself away from, please, let's wear our clothes and get ready. It's our mating ceremony, remember? I opened my mouth to ask her, but honestly, I decided to wait. I didn't want to fuck up our special mating day by bad things from the past. But as much as I was curious, as much as I was scared, it means that she is broken deep inside her, and emotionally she was not stable. I waited for her and stood by the window, taking a look at Zeus and his kids playing in the garden. I sighed deeply, dreaming of having kids too. I wished for that. Out of the blue, she froze me by her words. My father used to lock me in a dark room and chain me as if I was possessed by a ghost. He used to call me a monster, but not Zeus. He saved me. I turned my head slowly to her and narrowed my eyes. Her eyes welled with tears, but she proudly and confidently said, I killed my father. What the freaking shit? She had mental issues. And a killer? Alpha Kane. My tongue was tangled by shock. I was paralyzed. I wasn't able to speak. I was just staring at her there. Was she insane? Did she kill her father? I just shoved aside all the terrible doubts and wrapped my arms with her. Let's go now. They're all waiting for us. It's our mating ceremony, I said, sparsely smiling. Actually, until I find out all the truth about her, I decided to slow down. But I couldn't do it. I've just been mated with her, and now I can't leave her. It's probably going to be her humiliation. We went down the stairs. Zeus had already been waiting for us by the door of the ballroom. He eyeballed us from our shoes to our eyes, as if he wanted to ask if we did it or not. I shrugged my shoulder with a wide smile. Don't even try to ask. Yes, we did it. Zeus chuckled. Okay, both of you get in now. I nodded, but Lily childishly barged into the ballroom, greeting everyone. If it was a birthday party, not a mating ceremony, she should wait for me. Zeus placed his hand on my shoulder. I need to talk with you in private. I sighed, hesitate to ask him about his dead father, but I should do that. So I let him talk first. Yes, sure. Zeus gestured to Rosy to walk away, who was on her way towards us. He stood with serious facial expressions staring at me. So, are you really sure from going through this step? I mean, she is too fragile and she's like my baby, not only a younger sister to me. I want you to take care of her. Zeus? I rubbed my neck awkwardly, seriously didn't know if it was the right time to ask or not. How did your father die? I mean, I have heard a thing from Lily and me I can't believe it. Zeus raised his brows and stepped closer. What do you mean? I whispered. She said that she killed her father. Is that true? Zeus laughed hysterically as if I just told him a joke. I furrowed my brows. I didn't spat a joke, for God's sake. Answer my question. I feel like I'm mated to a murderer. I was losing my temper, and actually, he just snapped his fingers to his guards to open the gate of the ballroom aside, and he then pushed me inside, as if I was already trapped into that mating. Sure, I didn't get an answer, because we were surrounded by a lot of guests, and everyone started congratulating me. Lily rushed towards me cheerfully and pulled me to the dance floor. Hey, wait for Lily. What are you doing? She giggled lightly. Dancing with my mate, she said innocently and simply. Honestly, all that came to my mind that she was crazy, or she wanted to make me lose my mind as kind of taming my beats or taking revenge from me. But my wolf reminded me that I was the one who announced that she is my mate. So she didn't do anything. We danced. I was keeping my eyes locked with her. Her smile attacked my heart, as if she was invading my soul and controlling my pulses. I was happy with her, and her touches melted me. I just wanted her, and that was something I was very sure of. Suddenly, someone came. Oh no, he wasn't Carlos. I guess he felt humiliated when Lily chose me over him, so he didn't appear. But that one was so young, almost Lily age. He held up his hand to Lily. "Please dance with me for the last time," he asked politely to her. But he ignored my existence as if I wasn't there. I coughed and said firmly, "Excuse me, who are you? Can't you see I'm standing there?" He switched his head to me to only throw me with no reply and ignorance as if I was a shit. Then he smiled to Lily. "Come on, I'm your partner in crime. You should give me this last dance," he pouted childishly. Lily left my hand and pulled him into a bear hug. "Sure, my best friend. My partner in crime? You are the only one who knows my secrets," she commented and started to dance with him. While I was watching and thunderstruck, she just pushed me aside. And what the hell did she mean by her partner in crime and he knows all her secrets? Does that mean she knew that she wasn't mute? I pulled him away from her and then stood in front of her. "Tell me now the truth and don't lie. Did he know that you weren't mute?" She nodded and then pushed me back and started dancing with him again. Before I could do a foolish thing and beat her and him to death, I was dragged by Zeus. "Now I will answer your question. Please come with me." I gritted my teeth to Lily, who just teased me and kept dancing with that fucking short guy. Zeus walked with me to one of the corners where no one was standing. Then he blurted out, "According to Lily, she killed our father." But he sighed in frustration. Then he trailed off his words. "My father used to train her since she was 6 years old. He used to punish her as if she was a warrior. He used to lock her in a dark room alone for days with no food. So, when she refused to get mated to Carlos, my father's illness started to become bad. That's why she thought she killed him. But she is so fragile," he explained to me, and as much his words relieved me, as much I was confused. But before I could say another word, the thunder sounds echoed in the whole castle. The weather became so bad, the sounds struck our ears, and that reflected the lights, which soon turned off. And all I have heard was Lily screaming, "Please help, please." To me, I didn't need to look. I was sure that she was the one who was screaming. I rushed immediately towards her. She was on the floor, cradled her body into a ball and crying. I bent down and lifted her up to my arms. She snuggled to my chest, muttering with shivered tone, "Please help me, please." She got scared of thunder sound? What is that? She sobbed while I patted her back gently. "It's okay, I'm here." She stuttered in a low voice while clutching into my jacket. "Dad, please stop. Dad, I'm sorry." What was that? "Lily, it's me," but she fainted once her eyes met mine, as if she was struck by the reality that she was safe. What in the hell that monster dead father did to her? My wolf mumbled, "Why do you care? Just break the bond." "Shut up! I will never do that. I do love her," I said confidently, mutely to my wolf. And that was the question. If my wolf didn't care about her, then why in the hell I do care that much? Was that a real love, not mating bond? Suddenly she opened her eyes only to say a few words as if nothing don't happen at all. And as if she was another person. She was refreshed and smiling. "Let's go back home." "What home, Lily?" "Back to your pack. Your home is my home now. Mate." She killed my cheeks and wrapped her arms around my neck. Then she fell asleep comfortably between my arms. Damn it. That girl has definitely mental issues. Alpha Kane. She fell asleep on my lap all the way to my pack. Seriously, she was smiling like an angel, and I was watching her angelic face all the time. I was seriously asking myself why I did that. Why did I accept her as my mate? I was and lived my life as selfish as I could. I didn't care about anyone else except me. And from my previous relationship with Rosy, or with my ex-girlfriend, and the one I left her after I realized that Rosy became beautiful, I could say that I was changing. Something was happening to me, for sure. I felt so strange, as if a ghost possessed over my body and my heart and my mind. Yes, Lily wasn't the most precious or beautiful she-wolf, and she looked so mentally crazy, not stable. But with all of these, I insisted on continuing with her. I sighed and leaned, pressing my lips to Lily, and damn it, the affection of our lips touched was amazing as I have never felt in my life. I whispered, talking to myself, "Seriously, she worth it." I smiled and hugged her tightly while she was still sleeping. I wonder how she could fall asleep all that time. Was she relieved in between my arms? Finally, we arrived in my pack. I didn't know what I should do. Carry her up without waking her or wake her. She needed to see everyone, and everyone needed to greet her as their new queen. New queen. She was the only queen actually, and the sister of my enemy. God, how fate is funny. Who could even think that might happen? I was sure that rumors would start very soon. They might think Zeus traded his younger sister instead of going into war. Or maybe they will think I kidnapped her to take revenge over Rosy and Zeus. I shrugged off to all the awkward thoughts and nudged her shoulder gently. Baby, wake up. We are. She hopped off immediately and widened her eyes, checking the place. Oh, we have arrived at our pack, she said, excited, then opened the door of the limo and jumped out, pulling me. Come on, I need to meet everyone. There's a lot need to take care of. What? I raised my eyebrows. What in the hell did she mean by that? Wasn't she deeply in sleep now? That girl definitely planned for everything previously. I followed her, and she was childish running inside the castle. She clapped her hands confidently, and in command tone, she said, Gather up here, everyone, and kneel to the new queen. She said, Yes, not me, as if she owned the pack and the castle and even the whole world. I wanted to laugh at her attitude, but honestly, that was funny. I wanted to see how she would deal with them. The guards and the maids and everyone inside the castle stood there, didn't bow for her. But I gestured to them to kneel as she said, Kneel to the queen now, all of you, I said sternly. They stared at each other, but they obeyed and submitted immediately. She roamed around all of them, especially the women. Yes, and I got that feeling she may scold them or yell at them or give them order to do something for her. But she surprised me with her words. All the women are fired. I don't want to see a single girl or lady in that castle ever. What? I opened my mouth flabbergasted. She raised her brows while crossing her arms over her chest. What, mate? Do you have something to say? I want all of them, but now. She stabbed the floor by her heels, childishly nagging. I suppressed my anger. You can't do that. She frowned and smirked. But I can, and I did. Choose between them and me. I rubbed my face. Don't put yourself in comparison with them. They didn't do anything wrong, too. I couldn't continue because she repeated, stressing on every word comes out of her mouth. Do it now, Kane, me or them. I nodded, huffing annoyed. Okay, sure you, but... She arrogantly turned her body, not butts, Kane. Now show me our room. Damn it, that girl had the gut to command me? What is she? She thinks she owns me? Was she really own me? Because all I can see that I obeying her and I don't want to lose her. Damn it. No, I knew what they meant by the king only kneels to his mate. Now I realized why they meant by mating bond. It's so hard to explain. It's something more powerful to resist or ignore. I walked next to her and climbed the stairs, and when we reached our room, I opened the door to her. Once she put her feet inside, she said, looking up and down and disgusting, Throw all the furniture now. We will buy a new one. She said simply, checking everything around. But I do love the room like this, I said, groaning already. She swayed her hips seductively towards me. But I said, I hate it. Do you want me to sleep in a room that you used to fuck other she-wolves in? No way. Change that furniture, or sleep on the floor or in another room. I won't let you touch me, she threatened me. I rounded my fist angrily and pinned her to the wall, roaring, What are you? What do you think of yourself? No one ever dared to command me or tell me what I should do. Do you think that I will fucking beg you to sleep with me? I can fuck any other woman if I want to. She stared at me blankly, then simply and coldly blurted out, Try to do that, and I will cheat on you too. What the fuck? Then she pushed me away and passed me, getting out of the room. I mean that, Kane. I'm not Rosy. Be careful. I stormed out of the room, following Ether and shouting, I will fucking kill you if you... I couldn't continue because familiar voice bawled my name in sexy voice. Kane, welcome back, sweetheart. Fuck, damn it. My ex-girlfriend? I thought that Lily didn't hear me, but obviously I said that loudly. Lily raised her brow to me and shot me with a deadly gaze. Ex-girlfriend? How many of them should I meet then? Do you even remember her name? And my ex-girlfriend blurted out instantly, Sure, he remember my name. I'm his first girl. Do you know what that means? I mean, he lost his virginity to me. Fuck, damn it, now I'm dead. Lily gritted her teeth, watching Mila come close and showering my cheeks with kisses. Obviously, she just heard about me coming back with my Luna and she wanted to tease her. The problem is, Mila was one of my best friends and she was so close to me and I couldn't push her or kick her out of the castle. Suddenly, Lily said, Okay, you need to stay here then for tonight. I will cook for you. I mean, for us. Fuck, she wants to poison her or what? She can't even cook. Baby. Lily, just relax and the maids will do. But Lily snapped my hand away from her. Shut up, Kane. Mila commented. What? How did she? Yes, how did she find the gut to yell at me? I smiled internally. Honestly, I loved how she was crazy about me, as if she will kill anyone to come across from me. Damn it, kill! Alpha Kane. Sit. Dinner is ready, Lily said, frowning. I gulped nervously, hesitant actually to eat. I wanted to say anything, but I couldn't. She looked so angry. I nodded and pulled the chair to Lily. Please, sweetheart, have a seat. Lily threw me with the fierce look, then she grinned and sat. Thanks, mate. Lily stressed on every word come out of her mouth, as if she wanted to remind me. Come on, how could I forget? I walked to Mila's side to pull the chair for her. Lily groaned angrily, but I just pulled the chair. Mila smiled to me. Thank you, Daddy. And fuck, that was it. I knew that Mila was teasing Lily, and I wanted to kick her out of the castle immediately when she called me Daddy. I didn't want anyone to ruin my mating life with Lily. But Lily suddenly smashed the glass from her hand and yelled, Fuck you, Mila. You are not allowed to call my mate Daddy ever. I slammed the table by my both hands, yelling back at Lily. Stop now. You are not allowed to yell at my guests. Ever. Don't forget that I'm the alpha. Not a fuckboy toy for you. Suddenly, Lily's eyes streamed with tears and she started to shiver in an abnormal way. I stood in my place, didn't know what to do. From my perception, I wanted to give her a strong lesson to do not yell at me again. But I guess I was just wrong. Lily bent down on her knees and started cleaning the floor from the smashed glasses. I walked to her immediately. Lily, get up. She didn't reply to me, not even glance off. I commanded her style, Lily, get up now. She shook her shoulders and kept doing what she was doing. Before I could pull Lily up, Mila started crying, and I was suspicious about her behavior. She wasn't that sweet or fragile she-wolf that may cry because someone humiliated her. But she was my guest after all. Mila faked that she was crying and sobbed, saying brokenly, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother both of you. I just came here to congratulate you, my highness. I should go now. Look what you've done to her, Lily. I huffed, blaming Lily that was too busy cleaning the smashed glasses from the floor and didn't bother to look at me even once. I walked instantly to Mila and patted her shoulder. It's okay, never mind. Come with me, I will show your room. Mila leaned against my shoulder, still sobbing. I walked with her upstairs. I opened a guest room for her. Please stay here. She pulled me inside, then slammed the door behind her. I want you, Kane. I raised my brows. What the fuck? Don't touch me. I do have a Luna. Mila threw her body to my chest and seductively said while moving her hand to my chest, but she's just a baby, not even a woman. At least let me satisfy you in bed. I pushed her away to fall in the bed, then I opened the door while saying sternly, Mila, you will stay here only till the sunrise, then I don't want to see you ever again. Got that? I mumbled to myself mutely while walking to my room. Damn it, I guess Lily feeling was right. Mila was here to ruin our life. But somehow I forgot about Lily for a while. Or maybe I just waited for her in our room. I took a long shower that lasted for more than an hour. And when I stepped out of the shower room, I didn't find Lily. I wore back my clothes and stood by the window, breathing some fresh air. But I saw Lily in the dark, sneaking in the backyard garden, going deep into the woods. Curiosity killed me. I decided to hurry and follow her and see where she was going. But once I reached downstairs, I didn't find her. She was gone. In a few minutes, I saw her running back to the castle. I called her name, but she didn't stop. She climbed the stairs in a hurry, and I trailed her. She locked herself in the bathroom. With my banging on the bathroom door, she didn't to open. She only finally yelled at me once, "Stay away from me." I couldn't stay longer. I smashed the door to see her hand covered with blood. And because I was a dirty-minded person, I assumed and accused her that she hurt or killed Mila. What the hell have you done to Mila? Did you kill her? And a familiar voice loudly said from behind my back, Your Highness, she tried to kill me. See the bruises. I slapped Lily's face immediately that she fell on the floor. How dare you? But Lily sealed her eyes, and all I could hear clearly was Lily's heart throbbing fast and loudly, the blood flowing and covering the floor around her. I started to be suspicious and worried. Something wrong with Lily. I turned back my head to check on Mila, and because Lily was my mate, so I smelt her scent. That blood over Mila was Lily's own blood. Fuck! You bitch! What did you do to Lily? I strangled her neck. I was going to kill her. But then I heard Lily saying in whispering tone, "Find my medicine in my purse. It should stop the blood. I have only 2 minutes or I will lose all my blood and die. Hurry, Kane." Fuck, what? Lily. I opened my eyes to find myself in bed. I tried hard to get up, but I remembered what happened. Every time I take the medicine, this happens to me. I bled a lot. My case was deadly, yes. I saw Kane standing by the bed, watching me worriedly. His facial expressions were filled with only sorry words, but I just couldn't talk to him, not even blame him. But I thought when he saw his pictures in my room, that he understands how much I loved him from far away distance, with no hope to reach his heart, not even dreaming of being his mate. A doctor was next to me. He checked on my chest, and my heart pulses. Then he smiled weakly. "Welcome back, Your Highness." I nodded and thanked him. "Thank you. But it's okay. I do know my case very well. No need to hide anything." Kane asked me immediately, "What are you suffering from?" I blurted out simply without giving Kane a glance, "I'm suffering from hemophilia." Kane dropped his jaw like an idiot. Obviously, he didn't know what it means. So the doctor started explaining. It means her blood can't clot normally. So she can't get injured, not even a scratch if that happened. She might lead to an instant death between 5 to 10 minutes. That's why she needs to be careful and carry her injections with her everywhere. Once the doctor finished his words, Kane slammed his ass to the edge of the bed, trying to process it into his mind. "So, she is truly and badly sick?" The doctor nodded. "Yes, I have to go now, and I will come back to check on her daily." The doctor bowed his head respectfully, then stepped out of the room after excusing. Kane muttered, "So why did you hide this from me? What else, Lily? I need to know everything now." "So you are the one who is mad at me now?" "Okay, I will tell you everything because you need to think clearly about our mating bond." "I may not be able to." I paused. He swirled his head to me. "What? Tell me." I decided to tell him how I killed my father first, then tell him the next. I stood up and walked to stand in front of his face. Then I started, "You need to know how I killed my father. I didn't kill him on my own hands. And it's not as my brother Zeus has told you as well." I blew a deep breath away, trying to hold the tears that welled in my eyes already by remembering my dark past. He narrowed his eyes, paying his full attention to me. "Yes, tell me, please." I nodded and smiled weakly. My father used to lock me in a dark room and train me as a warrior since I was 6 or 7 years old, because when the symptoms of my illness started to appear, he thought that I wasn't his child already and that my mother cheated on him. But he had no evidence, so he decided to see if I was able to be strong as him and as my brother. This led to worse. I started to bleed badly in one of these nights, and the one who stood by my side and prevented my father from hurting me was Zeus. So, after long years of suffering, my father finally decided to get rid of me. No one actually knew why, but he wanted me to be out of his pack. So, I started to sob and cry and even shiver. Kane stood up and hugged me immediately. "It's okay, it's all right now. I will protect you." But as much as his words relieved me, as much as I wanted to go on with my story, so, when he forced me into this marriage from Carlos, I rejected. That night, he started beating me up badly. I was going to die. He said that I should be a slave to the pack and they should fuck me only. His words were harsh. And Zeus interfered at that moment and pushed my father away, which led to his sickness. So I kept silent since then. I sighed. Kane cupped my cheeks and kissed my forehead. "Is that so? Glad to know." He smiled. I raised my brows. "Glad to know that I have suffered?" He shook his head. "No, glad to know that you are not a killer, so we can move on our life now as mates," he said cheerfully. But actually, it was the right time to tell him the rest of my story. I stepped backward, fiddling nervously with my fingers. "There's something else. You should know that I may not be able to carry your child in my womb. I may not be able to get pregnant at all because of my illness." And it was the bomb that shattered our mating bond. His face grimaced and he gasped, "What are you talking about?" "But I want kids. I want heirs." I I yelled at him, "Get out now, Kane. I don't want to see you. You are so selfish." And he shot me with a glance before slamming the door behind him. What I have thought at this moment was killing myself and end my misery. He rejected me by his reaction. He obviously won't be able to live normally with a girl like me. But I thought of something else. To give him a baby, even if that will lead to my death. At least I will do what my mate craved to. Sacrifice was the best part of the mating bond and love. So I walked to the shower room, I bathed very well, and I even splashed Kane's favorite perfume. I wore a sexy dress, and I walked out of the room, searching for him all over the castle. Until I found him in his office, he was there sitting to one of the corners, sank his head to his knees, and all I could hear was sobbing and faint cries. I didn't imagine it was coming out of Kane. Ever. He didn't even notice that I was standing in front of him until I bent down and placed my hands on his shoulders softly, saying, "Kane, are you crying?" He hugged me tightly. "I'm sorry, but I want kids. If you couldn't give me one, then—" I cut him off immediately and confidently without hesitation. "I'm ready. Get up and let's do it. Here and now." He stood up and moved his fingers gently to my cheeks. Then he leaned, brushing his nose to mine. "I can't do that, but I will do another thing." He paused, then he twirled his head to the door, calling someone, "Slaves. I need the slaves now." I trembled and stuttered, begging him, "No, please no, don't do that." Lily. I couldn't stop the tears from not falling. How could I choose another woman for my mate? I begged him, "Please, Kane, please, I can do that. I can give you a son. I don't care if I lose my life, He blurted out in serious tone, pulling me to his chest. "But I do care. I want you by my side till the last breath of mine." I blinked, confused. It hurts. He cares about me to the degree that he wants a slave to give him illegitimate child? What was that? Once the beta stepped inside with a line of slaves. I lost the ability to breathe anymore. My vision blurry, my legs were shaking, and my heart skipped a few beats. I couldn't accept that. I couldn't choose for him another woman. I have dreamed for too long to be with Kane, even when I have heard how much he wanted Rosy. Yes, even when I heard how heartless he is. It was something stronger than me before knowing that we are mates. It was love before my eyes could meet his. Kane wiped his tears and stood with raised head, coldness and darkness in his eyes. Danger tone in his voice, he grabbed my arm and pushed me to the girls and said, "Pick one. I want her to be the prettiest among them." I couldn't. I gulped nervously, trying to say another word. All of them were much prettier than me. I just couldn't stand the idea of giving him permission to touch another girl. I twirled my body immediately to Kane, then I knelt down pleading, "I'm begging you. Don't. You are killing me. I will die if you touched another girl. I want to." He pulled me up immediately and cupped my cheeks. "What are you talking about? I didn't say that I will touch another woman. I'm doing that for you." Okay, now I was lost. He was going to fuck another woman to make her pregnant, right? Did I miss something between the lines? I blinked, confused, and asked him in stuttering tone, "What do you mean? You said you want me to pick a slave to sleep with her, to carry your child." Kane suddenly laughed hysterically, almost choking on his breath, then he glared at me. "Damn it, Lily, you are so naive." He trailed off slowly. "Baby, I want a slave to be a surrogate. She will only carry our baby. I will never touch another woman. I'm totally yours." I sighed in relief once my brain processed his words. "Oh my God, is that so? I thought you were going to." I brushed awkwardly and discontinued my word. I felt horrible for thinking of him in a bad way. Then that's why he was crying? Because he really was worried about me? Kane leaned his face, teasing me. "But if you want me to do that naturally, by fucking the slave then," he whispered in his last word. I hit his chest gently and made a puppy face. "Never. I would kill myself if you did that ever. Got that?" He pulled my hand and placed a soft kiss. "Don't say that ever. I will never lose you. I do love you." The beta coughed, dragging him and Kane to reality. "So, Your Highness, Your Majesty, what's the decision?" I inhaled and exhaled more confidently and turned my body walking to the slaves and asked them, "So who is willing to help us to have our own baby? I'm not going to force any of you. I want one of you to have the choice. And I will award her to be free after giving delivery to our baby." Yes, I was so kind-hearted, but that was the last thing to award who was willing to help us. One of them blurted out instantly, "I'm ready, Your Highness. Anytime." I nodded happily and excited, then I hugged Kane, who kissed my forehead immediately. Okay, then I guess it's settled. Let's prepare for that operation. Kane dismissed them and commanded the beta, "Please provide that girl with a good room. I want her to be comfortable as one of our families from now on." "Sure, Your Highness." The beta bowed his head, then dragged his feet backward, closing the door. Kane pulled me to his chest, moving a strand of my hair back into my ear. "How could you think that I will choose another one to replace you? I love you, Lily." I pecked his lips. "I love you too much." But I paused, then I walked away, teasing him. I had nothing else to do in my life except making him happy and caring about him. He rubbed his chin, "President, that he is not into this." Then suddenly, he rushed towards me, breathing warmly while kissing my neck. We got lost between our kisses, our love, and lust. But damn it, we were interfered by someone banging on the door as if he wanted to smash the door. "What was that?" I gasped worriedly. Kane pushed my dress down to cover me back. Then he patted my shoulder. "Wait here." I obeyed immediately, not because I was worried, but I didn't want to quarrel with him ever again. He proved to me that he was able to change for my sake, and I should have faith in him and in our mating bond. Once Kane opened that door, I heard noise and someone as if he was a ghost or demon growling and roaring. All I could see was something shaped like a knife. I couldn't wait even for a second or think. I hurriedly, in the blink of an eye, rushed to Kane, and I took a stab instead of him. All I was able to hear at this moment was a voice squealing and calling my name, "Lily, Matee, not my Luna," and I was gone into another world. Could it be after death? Was that heaven or hell? I opened my eyes later to find myself in a very dark room. So, the first thing that came into my mind that I was dead. And no, I was alive and bleeding still, surrounded by too many werewolves looked like warriors, but they didn't look familiar. Soon the light was beaming. It was eyes, dark one, and a familiar voice said, "I didn't want you to die. I wanted to kill him. He took you from me." Was that Hode, Carlos? I tried hard to open my eyes, but my lids were hurt. I discovered that I was in my she-wolf shape. I have never been able to shift. Is that why I was too fast to get the stab instead of Kane? But where's Kane? I bruised my lips and said, "I could smell your scent. Even so, my vision blurs. Even so, my ears can't hear well because I have lost a lot of blood. But I know your smell," I said bluntly, not afraid to die. "Not now, at least because I have sacrificed my life for Kane, the one I love most." Carlos chuckled. "Sure, we are mates, that's why you can know my scent." I freed my eyes by force, only to throw him by disgusting looks. "No, I know your scent, because it disgusts me. I hated it. And I do hate you, Carlos." Suddenly and intensely, he started yelling. How could he love me and want me and be so selfish, not acting how much blood I was losing? He hollered loudly that I almost lost the ability to hear after that clearly. "You bitch! I loved you! How dare you reject me as a mate?" "Bitch!" I couldn't yell back. I was dying, obviously. I didn't know where and how did. I came here and where's Kane? I just couldn't breathe. But my daddy, Kane, did the job. Growls and howls echoed in the room. Kane roars made the walls and the ground shakes like an earthquake. "My mate is not a bitch! I'm gonna rip off your head of your body now." And a lot of noise here and there. My body was shifted back to my human shape. The blood surrounded me. Clearly, I wasn't going to make it this time. But after a few minutes, which only God knows how much, or what had happened, who was drafted, I feel strong arms held me up and running so fast like a flashlight. I heard Kane and Rosy, and even Zeus, my brother, voice talking to each other after that. "Help her now. She needs blood transfer. There's no time." "Take mine," Kane said. "Mine too. Please help her," Zeus said too. "Mine too," Rosy said. And an angelic voice said as chirps of birds, "I will help her now, and I will give her a second good healthy life." Was that dream? Were that illusions? I just opened my eyes for 1 second to see a gorgeous eye glaring at me. Was she the moon goddess? Alpha Kane. I was happy that we finally decided, I and Lily, to choose one surrogate. I wanted to keep Lily alive. I was sure how badly I was looking forward to having a complete family, especially that I did find my real mate. I thought I was mattress until the fate dragged Lily into my path. So I knew nothing would go smoothly with my past sins. The moon goddess for sure wanted to make me pay back for my mistakes, so I found an incomplete mate. But that doesn't bother me at all, because to have our children wasn't a critical problem. Yes, this surrogate, after all. But what worried me a lot, that Lily was so happy, and I wasn't sure about the one we have chosen to carry our baby in her womb. Why? Let's see what happened later that day after fertilizing her with Lily ovule and my sperms. I had to take care of the surrogate to make sure everything was going well with her. I didn't want to lose our baby. So I went that night to check on her new room. Slaves never granted with separate rooms in the castle. But how lucky she was by accepting this mission. She was now like one of the royal families, namely part of our family. But I guess she went further by her mind, and she thought she could reach more than being a surrogate. Sweetheart, sleep now. I will come back in minutes. I kissed Lily's forehead and covered her body. She didn't sleep for more than 2 days. She pulled my hand. Where are you going? You look exhausted too. You need to sleep for a while. I nodded and smiled while pecking her lips softly. Sure, I will from now on. I will just come to sleep next to you every night and hug you tightly. But I need to check on our baby. I sighed. Lily blinked, confused. What baby? I chuckled. The coming baby. I know I'm insane. We just planted our seeds inside that surrogate. But I'm concerned. We need to keep her health and her mood up always. So I'm going to check if she needs anything. Lily patted my hand and closed her eyes. Sure, I will be waiting for you. But I didn't know that I will be late. I changed into comfortable clothes, not sleeping ones though, but just something I could feel relaxed in it. I walked past the long corridor until I have reached the end of it, which were at that surrogate that I already forgot her name. Oh yes, that's why I decided to call her babysitter, to ease up things for me. I knocked on the door, but she didn't reply. There were no voices at all too. I got worried. That's why I barged inside. I immediately turned my head away and headed out, but her words froze me. My king, don't you want to feel the baby? What was that? How could I feel something that hasn't even been born yet? I dragged backward my feet in curiosity and then closed the door and looked at her, not with a desiring look, but I wondered how she was daring. I was sure she meant something else. If I didn't fertilize her, she would be killed now for seducing the alpha shamelessly. Yes, I do love Lily that much. I crossed my arms over my chest and raised an eyebrow. What do you mean by that? She rolled her body slowly to show me all her sexy body. Yes, I know she was, but I didn't give a shit. Not for a slave, after all. Are you insane? Are you aiming to seduce me to fuck you? I scoffed. And that's been the alarm for danger. She pulled me to top her in bed, and all of a sudden, she whispered, I don't mind being a mistress. I just repeated immediately with annoyance, dumbfounded. Are you fucking insane? How dare you talk to me this way? She stared at me with no blinking. She was so brave, and I admit that. As if she was sure I won't try to hurt her now, at least. She wrapped her arms around my neck and licked the back of my ear. And that will be our secret. I know that you do love your Luna. I pushed her away and hoped by the end, saying with rage, You are so lucky because you do have our baby in your womb. If not, I would kill you by the same second. I hollered, but not so lonely. I didn't want Lily to come inside and see that shit. Lily was so childish and sensitive, after all. She may think that he was a sick burden on my shoulders. She may remember to leave me forever because she wasn't capable of carrying my child. So I decided to get over this incident and forget about it. The surrogate nodded and apologized seductively. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to do my job. Furrowed my brows and said firmly, Your job is to give me a healthy baby. That's it. Anyway, sleep now. I covered her body with the balance, but she suddenly squealed. Oh my God, something wrong in my womb, I feel like. I instantly, in concert, sat next to her in bed and placed my hand on her stomach. What is it? Tell me. And I just slapped her face immediately without thinking twice. She inhaled and exhaled deeply, things he crawled off the bed. Until she stood up without looking at me, she put her clothes on her body. I just asked her, What are you doing? But she ignored me. Until she sauntered to the door, passing me, and she shot me with a weird facial expression off her shoulders. I need to breathe some fresh air. I blocked her path and pinned her to the wall. What are you doing this? She sealed her eyes and sighed as if she was one of my old ex-girlfriends. I want you to stay next to me till I fall asleep. Is that hard for you? I couldn't say no, at least for those 9 months' path. But I admit that was my foolish mistake ever. I didn't know she will get used to me, and she would get her hopes higher. She would hang up one more me, Alpha Kane. The next morning, yes, the following day, because I fell asleep like a jerk, as if that surrogate hypnotized me. Honestly, I don't know what had happened. I stretched my arms in the air and rolled my body in the bed to find Lily wasn't next to me. Sure, how could she be next to me? I was in the surrogate room already. I freaked out. I jumped immediately off the bed and checked on my clothes, and thankfully I was still in my clothes, not naked. I sighed deeply in relief. I eyeballed the room, searching for the surrogate, but I didn't find her. I decided to go back to my room immediately, hoping that I could catch Lily before waking up from her sleep and realizing that I spent all night with that slave. Fuck, damn it! I was so scared to death. Honestly, I knew by the time that having a mate was a hard feeling to keep. It was the hardest and toughest responsibility ever. It's like if I lost her, I would die immediately. I will miss the ability to smile or laugh or even to sleep. Lily was like the sunshine to me. She was like the best flower scent ever. She was my everything, and I was grateful that I found her. I can't deny that if that surrogate thing didn't work well, I wouldn't complain or break the bond between Lily and me. I wouldn't leave Lily ever. Not in this life, not in another. I rushed immediately to my room to find no sign of Lily inside. I hurried to the bathroom to see her and playing with the water like a baby girl. I took off my clothes immediately and jumped inside the bathtub and hugged her. Sorry, baby. She pouted sadly. Where have you been? Why didn't you wake me up early with you? Huh? Thank God. She thought that I was sleeping all night next to her. I kissed her passionately on the side of her neck. Baby, sorry, I didn't want to disturb your dreams. She leaned her head to my chest, saying, It's a new day and new hope, and we will be waiting for our children to come to life. I hope everything will be okay. Or... She paused, sighing deeply, and she was hiding something from me. I asked with cocked brow, Or what, Lily? Don't scare me. She raised her head slowly and placed her hand on my chest. Or I would give you the child by myself. I shook my head immediately, in disagree. Of course, we would never accept that. I guess I should be careful not to make that surrogate get mad or something and leave us. Lily said in confidence, If that surrogate thing didn't work, I would do one of two things. Give you the child by myself or leave you forever to live happily with another Luna. I pulled her to my chest, more squeezing her bones by my broad and muscled shoulders. Don't ever say that. I will never replace you. Okay. We finished dressing up and we walked down to take our breakfast. I forgot about that surrogate until I smelled a very delicious, pleasant food scent coming up from the garden. I asked my beta, who was drawing a wide smile over his face, What's going on? He held his hand up, guiding Lily and me to the garden, where we both stunned by the massive meal already. What is that? Lily asked. The surrogate bowed her head respectfully to us. It's the breakfast, Your Highness. I made it all by myself. I hope both of you would like it. I was concerned, don't know, but something deep inside me made me suspicious about that girl. Lily thanked her and said, Please have a seat with us. The baby needs to eat too. But I said other words. Hey, you, eat first. I don't trust you. What? Yes, what if it's poisoned or something? The surrogate shivered under my gaze. She pulled a fork, then shoved a piece into her mouth. She swallowed hard as if she didn't want to. Guess what? There was nothing to worry about. And I guess I was so suspicious, that's all. And yes, she had passed most of my tests, especially when months had passed and her belly started to grow up. She didn't try to seduce me again. She kept making all our meals daily. She was so obeying, but she kept me at night for at least 2 hours next to she fell asleep. And actually, she kept accompanying me in my reading room, saying that the baby needs to hear stories. That was off, I know. But since it didn't bother me, I didn't reject her company, but her eyes were always on me, and that made me keep my distance, just in case. I showered her with gifts too. I did prepare the room for our baby. She asked Lily and me to be his babysitter, and we accepted. She wouldn't hurt our baby for sure, mainly that she carried him inside her womb, and she became part of our family. 8 months had passed smoothly until the day of the delivery, when I discovered that she was wearing one of Lily underwear, Alpha Kane. I was standing there watching the surrogate giving birth to my child. I was too happy, but at the same time, I was worried. The thoughts didn't leave my mind even for a second when I have noticed that the surrogate was wearing my Luna underwear. How I assumed that Lily gifted her underwear. But why would she gift her something she used to wear? Besides, Lily was so kind and showered that surrogate with gifts. Everything was new. But as soon as my eyes saw my babies coming out of her, and my ears heard the baby's cries, I forgot about everything. Especially that moon goddess gifted us, twins. The happiness took me off guard, and immediately carried my babies and went out to Lily. "Sweetheart, our babies." Lily's eyes streamed with tears, and she rushed towards me and kissed the baby's forehead. "Oh my God, finally. We are a complete family now," she uttered with sobs. I hugged her between my arms while I handed the babies to my beta. "Sweetheart, we were a complete family with or without pups." I kissed her forehead. She pecked my lips. "Thank you, Kane, for accepting a Luna like me with my illness," she said brokenly but sincerely. I lifted her in my arms, and she gasped. "What are you doing, Kane?" I brushed my nose to her and smiled. "Celebrating, only me and you." She muttered in curiosity. "What about the babies and the surrogate?" I walked upstairs and said, "What about them? The servants will take care of them, and the surrogate will be our babysitter. I guess she will be the best to take care of them." And the time passed normally. I and Lily checked on the babies from time to time. They stayed with the babysitter in her room, and she was doing a great job with them. I can't deny that. Until that night. A week later, I decided to ask her about the underwear. I didn't want to freak Lily. It came to my mind to ask the babysitter herself first. I knocked on her door, and she didn't reply, so I barged in, worried that something might have happened to my babies. Oh, yes, I didn't trust her. I didn't trust anyone. Not only because she tried to seduce me earlier, months ago, but I didn't trust any expect Lily and my beta, which was normal. I shouted immediately, shocked when I saw the babysitter by my beta next to my babies. "What the hell are you both doing here?" My beta trembled and stood up, wearing his clothes instantly. "Your Highness, I'm sorry, Thar." I slapped her face immediately. "Get out now. I will take care of you tomorrow." He bowed his head in respect and fled away from my sight. But that babysitter didn't move an inch. She only rolled her body on the bed, showing me her curves and her naked body. I slammed the door and made sure to lock it by key. She bit her lips seductively, "So I used your beta. I will give you a hard lesson now." And yes, I have beaten the hell out of her until she couldn't breathe. She begged me, "Please, I'm sorry. Forgive me." That didn't make me stop. I only paused because I wanted to ask her one more question. So I pulled her hair and pushed her down to my feet. "Now tell me, where did you get my Luna underwear? I saw you wearing that one. Say now," I commanded her sternly. She shivered and kissed my shoes. "Please forgive me. I stole it. Please, I will never make any mistakes again. Please don't tell the Queen." I leaned down to her face and squeezed her chin with my hand. "I won't tell her. But from now on, you won't stay in the same room with my babies." Then I spat on her face and carried my babies, who started to cry already from the noises and my yells, and I walked back to my room. Lily woke up and hopped off the bed when she saw our babies in my arms. "What happened?" I smiled to cover up my anger. "Nothing. I just thought we needed to let our twins stay with us. I don't trust anyone but you." She wrapped my neck and kissed me. "Really?" I nodded. "Yes, but you are squeezing our babies now." And suddenly I heard noises outside. I placed the babies in bed. "Stay here. Don't move." I found all the servants and everyone standing by the babysitter door. "What happened?" My beta trembled and he was staring at something. I turned my head to see what was that, to find her hanging from the ceiling. "Fuck! Alpha Kane." I ran towards her immediately and pulled her down. Thankfully, she panted. "What are you trying to do? Killing yourself?" She inhaled and exhaled, then smirked weirdly. "It's a kidnapping trap. You idiot, Alpha." I blinked, confused, and suddenly I felt that my heart squeezed painfully, as if I was stabbed deeply and bleeding. I stood up immediately and yelled at my beta and my guards while screaming, "Lily Lee!" I rushed to our room to find no one, not even the kids. I shouted, "Find my Luna now!" But that bitch was still there. She laughed hysterically like a psychopath and said, "The Alpha King kidnapped your Luna and your kids. Good luck with that." I instantly stomped towards her and choked her by my firm grip. "Tell me, where are they? Or I will kill you." I threatened, but my anger possessed me, so I killed her. I stepped backward when I spotted small paper on the bed. I grabbed it and opened it to find this one. "Hey, rival. She's with me and your kids too. If you want your kids, then you need to give up on Lily and break the mating bond. She's mine. Got that? I will be waiting for you in my pack." I growled, filling the cracks of my bones already. I was shifting subconsciously to my wolf shape, freaking out everyone around me. "That Alpha King. Then it's war." A small hand made me calm down and shrink back to my human shape. With her innocent and kind voice, she said, "We are coming with you." I turned my head, and I swear I knelt, her feet crying like a baby. "Rosy, I don't know what I should say except, please forgive me. Please. Thank you for being so kind to someone bad like me." She patted my head and smiled. "I've to thank you. If you didn't turn me ugly back then, I wouldn't meet my real mate. I wouldn't know the difference between being loved too. So get up now." I nodded, and suddenly a steady hand held up for me. "Get up now. We don't have much time. You should save your kids and—" I raised my brow to Zeus. "I should save the kids? And my Luna? What about her?" Zeus sighed deeply and brokenly said, "And I should save my little sister. I know you wouldn't choose her over the kids." I gritted my teeth, losing my temper already and walking past him, mumbling, "Then you know nothing at all." I walked downstairs and all my men, including my beta and Zeus, and even Rosy, followed me. I passed by the warrior's house and barged in. "Hey, all of you get ready for the war. The Alpha King himself kidnapped my Luna." They immediately took all the necessary weapons, and in minutes, we were all in our cars driving so fast to Carlos' pack. I didn't think if he had been planning for this for too long. I didn't give a shit if all the packs were already there to make me kneel. All I cared about was dying for my Luna. We hopped out of the cars, and I commanded all of them, "Get ready. We need to shift here and now. We need to make it fast. Got that?" Zeus blurted out, "Yes." I thankfully had told my men to come with me. I thought of making a huge celebration for the kids and Lily already. It was going to be kind of surprising celebration. His words killed me emotionally. The tears streamed from my eyes, thinking of what happened to my kids and my Luna. But I pulled myself together. There was no way I could cry like a kid. I needed to stay stronger in front of my men, or they might freak out and run away. I said to Rosy, "Please stay here. I don't want to lose you too." Rosy hung up her mouth, but Zeus interrupted immediately and pulled Rosy into a deep, lovely kiss. Then he pulled away. "That's right, Rosy. You need to stay here. Be safe. We will come back soon." She obeyed her mate, and we all sneaked, but at breakneck speed between the high trees, here and there, until I gave my men the sign to surrounding the castle. As I have thought, Carlos had been already so arrogant. So he thought I would give up on my Luna as a kind of trade for the sake of my kids. He didn't even care to put his men at the gates, just normal counts of them. I shifted into my human shape while my men stayed in their wolf shapes. I barged inside with Zeus and my beta walking next to me. I found Carlos was sitting on his royal chair and Lily next to him, but the kids weren't there. Lily hoped of the chair and rushed towards me, but Carlos pulled her again. "You, stay here, or I will kill your kids." Carlos wanted Lily, and I fumed in anger. How could he dare to threaten my Luna in front of me? I walked towards them and pulled her away. Then I choked his neck. "Where are my kids?" He smirked rudely, not caring if he died. And then he said, "You need to choose between you, Luna, and your kids." I turned my head back to Lily and Zeus. Zeus blurted out, "Then the kids." Lily repeated the same, almost crying, "Please, Kane, save the kids." I laughed in a witchy tone. "What the fuck are you all talking about? Why do I have to save the kids?" Alpha Kane. They all stared at me, confused. Even Carlos widened his eyes. "What?" I rubbed my chin and said in a confident tone, "I can have kids whenever I want to, but I can't get another Luna. So I am choosing Lily. Lily clutched my back, pleading to me, "No, please, save our kids." "Are you insane, Kane?" I turned my body and lifted her between my arms and said to Carlos, not caring to look back at him, "Have fun with the kids." But all of a sudden, I heard a growl coming out of my back. I put Lily down on her feet immediately to see my beta bleeding and stabbed by Carlos in his chest. I bent down. "What the fuck?" My beta smiled to me. "We do have one alpha, my duty to save your life, not to take your position. I had to pay back for my stupidity. If I didn't get involved with that bitch, the kids and our Luna wouldn't be kidnapped. Forgive me, Alpha." I stood up and shifted into my wolf shape in a matter of seconds. Then I growled loudly that made my voice echo in the whole castle, announcing, "War." And yes, I wouldn't leave my kids, I just wanted to save Lily first. So it was the sign for my pack warriors to do the mission. I had beaten the hell out of Carlos until he kissed my feet to release him. But I didn't until he commanded his men to give me my kids back. Once I saw them safe, I asked these, "Take Lily and the kids out now." Zeus nodded and took them away. Then I turned my head to Carlos. I said immediately to his men, "All of you know the rules. We will go to the battlefield. If I won, then I will be the Alpha King. If he won, then he will take everything." And that's where the rules of the werewolves, playing fairly. But before I could even beat him again, the Prime Minister knelt and snapped his fingers for all the men to kneel. Then he said to me, "According to our rules, we decided to pull the Alpha King Carlos from his position as our king because he kidnapped one of his kingdom she-wolves and pups. So we announce Alpha Kane as the Alpha King." I was shocked. I gulped nervously. "What?" The Prime Minister stood up and bowed his head to me. Then he commanded the men, "Strip Carlos from his position as a king. Take him to the dungeon now." I smiled and sighed, deeply relieved. I didn't imagine that will happen. I dreamed of a day like that. But not this time. So I suggested, "Thank you all for being so loyal, but I think I can't accept that position." At that point, I mind-linked with Lily. "Please, could you come here with Zeus and Rosy?" And I waited. The Prime's sister stared confused as me. "But why?" I nodded to him, and then I pointed my finger to Zeus when he appeared. For my whole life, I wanted to be the Alpha King. But deep inside, all of us, and even me, know who is the right person. He used to be my rival back in years, but now he is my best friend. I need to thank him for handing me his sister. And I would like to give him the throne. He deserves to be the Alpha King. All of them stared at me, amused, but cheerfully Lily smiled, proud of my decision. She hugged me immediately. "I'm so proud of you, Kane." I kissed her back immediately. "I love you more than anything, even more than our kids. Do you know that?" Lily smiled shyly and kissed me back. "I know. Now, I know that." I shrugged with a wide grin. "But hey, Zeus, that means only one thing." Zeus raised his brows. "What is that?" I waved my brows looking at Rosy and Zeus. "That your son will get mated to my daughter after 20 years. Got that? Yeah, I want my baby girl to be the next queen." We all laughed, and I took my Luna back safe to my pack with our kids. Everything started to be healthy, and seriously, I didn't know that what I have said back then about our kids being mated might happen. But I guess the moon goddess overheard my wishes and decided to make it happen. God, fate, mating bond, love. I couldn't even imagine that all of these good things will happen to me with my lousy personality. But yes, I have changed over the years. Everyone had to. The end.